folks. Welcome to Adventures in Alberon, or not, the channel for Adventures in Alberon. But for tonight, we are stepping into the second session of Mosaic Team 5, our space western / space opera themed Starfinder campaign. Joining me, as always, I have my friends Matt, Dan, Carson, Olive, and Ari. It's a whole different order, and it's more people, so it's harder to say. And for the very first time, we are doing this campaign from like an actual dedicated space. So we don't need to move everything around.
Actual dungeon.
Yeah, we're not all sore from like lifting tables and running cables, which rhymes and is really nice. So that's really cool. It's going to enable me to have more time to do some stuff for the stream. It's going to mean we can start working in like lighting effects and things like that a little bit more down the line. But we have a lot of really cool things that are going on. We have stabilized cameras. We have a working Elgato Stream Deck. Thank you very much, Matt, for coming over yesterday and helping out with the audio after we lost a mixer. This is the first time that we're running from this setup, so if there are issues, if it's too loud, if it's too quiet, please let us know. Hello, DOS, welcome, and thank you in advance for letting us know. Hey. So, a couple of announcements before we get started. Tomorrow is session 99, or sorry, session 100 of Adventures in Alberon.
Wow,
It's the centennial.
Oh, Jesus, that's crazy.
I didn't get you a cake.
Yeah, no.
It's not too late.
Yeah.
It's not too late. I'm
You
not
have
going to
a
bake
whole
you a
day. You have a
cake.
whole day.
Yeah.
So tomorrow, session 100, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here on twitch.tv/AlberonRPG. That's going to be really cool. Come join me. Matt will be there. Dan will be there. Tina will be there. Alana will be there. Hannah will not be there tomorrow night. We'll miss her very much, but she'll be back next week. So, a couple of things really quick in terms of announcements as well. AlberonRPG.com is our website. There are, headshots of all these lovely people along with the characters that they play. There's a lot of information about Alberon, and as we discover things in this universe, it'll start going up on that page as well. So that's something that will be really cool to check out as well. And then finally, we are using Sirenscape for most of the music and digital sound effects that you hear that are not being made by us. So Sirenscape is a really cool digital tool set that has all kinds of different sound effects, from alien jazz to the lovely theme song composed for us by Wes over at Arcane Anthems. So go and check out Sirenscape. And with that, I can read us right into our recap. Mosaic Team 5. Last we played, you arrived at Waystation El Paso, this small kind of back road gas station of a space station, right on the edges of the United Solari Republic. You met Big Hank, the maintenance member from Waystation El Paso, who explained to you your ship would be relatively good to go in about a week. He spoke around you, kind of probably taking advantage of the fact that you guys are using a company credit card, but charging to the company, already beginning your bounty at a deficit. You made your way into the station. You went to the Tequila Tango, the only bar in Waystation El Paso, after Peep, your mission coordinator, let you know that your next bounty was headed there. Spice, you went in and made friends with a drunk lady.
She wore my boots.
Yeah, you let her try on your large boots, which for her, like all the way up to the armpits. The rest of you kind of came together with a loose plan and then immediately abandoned it as you all went to the bar and started drinking. Before you could even get a drink, your very first, Bubs, the Cygnus Bandit arrived, coming into the door that you were supposed to be standing watch at. Yeah, well, your first beer was shot out of your hand in a hail of needles as you began to take cover. Gibbs, you around back, not with the rest of your friends, fishing through the dumpster for extra little bits of liquor at the bottom of bottles, came rushing in, and all of you began to engage with the Cygnus Bandit. This bandit, at the end of the combat, when it seemed as if you were getting the upper hand, after setting the wall on fire and doing all kinds of damage to the bar itself, which probably will not make Peep very happy, you witnessed the bandit use a shockingly advanced piece of banned technology called a nanite bomb. And as it exploded, it began to devour the space station around you. Gibbs, you healed everyone, and with a burst of speed, all of you rushed out towards the docking bay.
Leaving me behind.
Well, you're faster than everybody else.
Well.
That is, except for Spice, who walked casually as the space station fell around you, the vacuum of space pulling chunks of debris by you. You finished your
Smoking a
cigarette.
cigarette?
Yes.
Of course.
Yeah.
Can't walk away.
Speed walking the last corridor because it was like actually catching up a little bit. Oh shit! Yeah. But you all arrived safely. You made your way to the alternate docking bay and found a single remaining ship, which I can actually give you guys a quick glimpse of. I think I just got to remember the right button to press because it's all different. Bam. Yeah. So this is our combat camera. You can now see some form of this ship. Very large compared to your dinky little shuttle that you pulled up in. This ship, twin engines, very, very sleek, no maker's marks, almost white, as if it rolled off the factory recently. As you boarded, you saw there was a number of sculptures and other pieces of art. You had all heard that the Cygnus Bandit had stolen items of this nature. Also aboard with you, represented by that small child on the board. You can see,
right here.
yeah. Oh no, I pulled this out of the combat camera. Represented by the small child is a Farron, one member of the Cygnus Bandits gang. At the very end, as the station crumbled around you, faced with really very few options, he boarded a ship that he claimed was his.
Does it have like a name on the tailpipe? Like
It does
a
not. It has
ship?
no markings
okay.
whatsoever. Although you guys have not really looked around inside. Now,
Blank slate.
Yeah.
now, Matt, as you pilot this new and unfamiliar craft for the first time, and as I set up the soundscape here, would you please describe your character as they pilot away from a destroyed and crumbling space station?
Yeah. So my character looks like he could probably be like a space pirate, sorcerer, motherfucker. Sorry, bad word. It's too early in the day for that.
No, you can.
Sorry,
I
Kate.
mean,
You can
it's
say-
not early in the day.
is
It's
too early.
nighttime now.
No, we get PG-13 at 6:30.
This is marked mature, so you. Can
Oh,
say
okay,
whatever you
good.
want.
Fuck, shit, balls.
Not what I
So, yeah, got like deathly purpley looking lips, one eye, and then a big old eye patch that covers most of the left side of his face. White, kind of silvery white hair, and mostly made of like rusty, kind of painted on metal.
Nice.
Yeah.
The metal is painted on, or the rust?
The metal is painted, and it's kind of like worn away metal or worn away paint. Yeah.
Okay. So, you sitting in the cockpit, actually now you can view on the thing. One thing I am going to ask you guys. So the whole purpose for having this, if you're going to do something, please move your mini so that if something were to happen and the combat begins, we know where you are.
Okay.
One of the biggest issues that people tend to report with Starfinder is space combat. Kind of not knowing where people are aboard a ship and having it be unclear about how long it will take to get different places. This will eliminate that problem. We know how far you move, and so we can move you around. All right, so you sit in this cockpit, kind of forward the rest of the ship. And for you, Shade, after your friends left, you taking some time to kind of close everything down, had gone out and missed the directions to the Tequila Tango. Instead, you walked over past a place called Granny Havoc's Gun Shack.
Nice.
You found a vending machine, got something to eat, and made your way to the alternate docking bay just to kind of check out some of the ships.
Okay.
The docking bay you pulled into, a lot of junkers. The greatest thing in there was like a freighter with this painted on kind of mermaid, almost like the nosed art of like a World War II fighter plane.
Okay.
In this new space, there was a few small civilian craft, but much larger this. And a ship of unknown make, you've never seen anything like it. There are no manufacturing designs, and as you walked in, kind of moving past, all very new. The sound of the systems is quiet, quieter than anything you've been on before. Moving forward and into the cockpit, almost as soon as you sit down, you hear commotion, alarms, different things happening, and after about 3 minutes, the rest of your team come running up the ramp with a Farron who looks bloodied and angry. One moment here. So, all of you now kind of arrive into this docking bay And as the ramp pulls up and you pull away from this exploding and almost imploding space station, what would you all like to do?
Can I see out of the cockpit?
Yeah, so turning around, all those doors are presently open.
Okay.
So you can kind of see, and you can pull them up if you want. They pull up.
Oh, they pull up.
Yeah.
Wow, this
Oh,
is.
Yeah.
They pull.
Yeah,
all
yeah,
the way
yeah.
up.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
So it's kind of hard, but you can just take them out if you want, and then we can only put them in when you guys decide to lock them.
Lock the bird doors.
Is this the escape pod?
So to the right and the left are the airlocks. You have two of them in this. And so you guys actually entered up the ramp.
Okay.
Currently not on the model. Since I'm talking about so much, I'll go back to the combat view. Currently not on the model. There are two back rooms. The one on the left, you haven't been in either one yet, but just so that the players know. The one on the left and right, they're basically just two other expansion rooms that you guys will have chances to
the
do
expansion
things with.
bays.
Yes.
So like cargo bays for now, basically?
That whole section is basically a cargo bay with two side cargo bays. Additionally, you guys will find other things out as we go.
So running up the ramp.
Yeah.
I'm gonna kind of shoulder check the Farron and be like, "We're all in this together now."
He bumps and you kind of start him forward as he is not the largest and pretty hurt. He's gonna turn, kind of looking at everybody, and then turning and looking up. He's gonna gesture towards the cockpit. Is this guy with you?
Only if he's a good driver.
Hey, and he's gonna kind of like try to push by you. He's gonna turn back and say, "For now, this is a truce. I don't know what that was, but that wasn't part of our plan. Hey," and he's gonna like start taking a walk down these hallways towards you. Is anybody else doing anything?
I'm going to the kitchen.
The
I'm
kitchen.
gonna find the kitchen.
Okay, sure. No problem. So you walk straight forward, kind of following the Farron. You see the Farron get into the cockpit with Shade, this android who's piloting. He's going to get in and say, "Now, the thing about this ship, it's a little different. There isn't a transponder," which I know, kind of wild. He like pulls up the seat next to you. You walk into the door on the left, and peering in there, you can see immediately like a round table, a cushion with blue seats, like almost this a little bit gaudier of a blue than like what Mosaic typically has. It's like an electric blue.
Jam it in there.
You can see there are lockers, there are 4 bunks, there are pretty standard kind of metal decking, but everything looks brand new, almost unused, with the exception of 2 of the beds, which are kind of unmade and messy. You'd imagine probably 2 of the Farron slept there. But beautiful little space. There's a few cabinets and other things, and you find a little, what is essentially like a microwave oven and some storage space, although no food.
Okay, that's fine.
So anybody else?
I think I'm going to walk into that kitchen.
Okay, yeah. So you walk in, you see all the same stuff.
As I'm walking in, I'm just running my finger along the wall and just checking to see if I can find any dust.
Yeah, make a perception check.
10?
A 10.
Or no, 12, sorry.
Okay. You walk around the sort of crew room, and as you kind of move your hand along it, not a lot of dust. Little bits kind of here and there, but you listen. You hear the HVAC system overhead and probably filtered, so this is going to stay relatively clean. That's pretty fancy for a ship this size.
I'm going to probably, at this point, enter into the kitchen and see Gibbs start, to my horror, putting her paws on all this, like, nice chrome kind of clean stuff, and I'm just, Gibbs, we just got here. What are you doing? Did you even wash your hands?
I scratch my ear and I take my hind foot and kind of sit on the ground and scratch my other ear with my hind foot. So I got both ears going.
You see little things like flicking off and rolling onto the ground.
And then
One of them kind of twitches. You're not really sure if it's
Oh
alive.
God. And
She.
I
That's what he is.
kind of look at you and then do that full body dog shake and I cast
Wow.
Fireball.
Where is this going?
token spell,
Roll for initiative.
which lets me
Oh, yeah, okay.
soil effectively do an effect.
I can
So
do
I
that
will
without a
soil
spell.
the room around me as I like shake all of this dirt
Oh,
off
no,
of
not in the
me.
kitchen!
So, Bubs, you watch. It's like a communal living area. Bubs, you watch. As soon as you say that, Gibbs sits down, and the Yosoki's back leg pulls up and just goes as fast as you can. And at first, you just see little furs, those little bits of things kind of hit the ground. And then as they do, you saw them twitch and move. Now, all of a sudden, you see things begin to scuttle and run. And they seem to hit the walls here and there. And where they do, you see visibly things begin to grow dirty. The same kind of mucusy green slime, all of a sudden, you see begin to drip down in the wake of these insects that then up and into the HVAC system, kind of disappearing.
No, not the
I wasn't
HVAC
planning on
system.
doing anything until you asked.
What in the? This is a special kind of. I can't even say the. And I'm just gonna close the door. Go in my little pocket, pull out a little post-it note, put it on the door, and write Gibbs, and then write the date and time, and put it right up on the side.
Fantastic.
I'm gonna walk into the lounge room and look around and be like, oh, what lovely specimens. And I pick one up and put it in a little test tube.
Okay. As this little bug, like, up, you see it's about to, like, slither in, almost like a cockroach, but you see, like, what looks like on the back, a single little tentacle kind of thing flickering around. You just snatch it and drop it right into a little test tube. It rolls up like a little roly-poly, the little squiggly thing, almost like a tail of a tadpole, and kind of back and seems to almost be trying to escape.
So I'm gonna do a quick life science check
Yeah, go ahead.
on this marvelous creature.
Now that's some appreciation.
Yeah.
It's a 19.
19. You recognize it as a beetle, and you recognize that it would come. You've seen things like it in near space, in like the immediate vicinity. Likely, this is like a Thay beetle or something very similar. They look a little bit different on every planet because as they spread out across, insects get onto ships and they travel. The way that evolution works on different planets, it's very diverse, so they can look kind of different. In terms of like practical uses,
They're tasty.
you can eat them
Oh, all right. Food.
in the same way that you can eat cockroaches. Just to be totally clear, they're like technically edible.
The best kind of edible.
Just tucking it away.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna do an investigation check to look for any materials that would be relevant for my micro lab.
Okay, I think that's a
Perception. All right.
yeah, that's a perception check if you're looking for things. Yeah,
Okay.
because I don't think there's an investigation, right?
I
Oh, there's
don't
no
think so.
investigation. Okay, I'm playing another game here.
Yeah, I don't know what game that could be. I've never played
Who knows?
games.
Okay.
Seeing you look, I'll ask, what are you looking for? There's no food, I would have smelt it.
Anything of use, chemicals, beakers. So perception
Yep.
is a. Am I?
I think it's all the way down at the bottom.
Oh right, it's a skill, right? Oh.
Damn.
Okay, so it's
Actually,
26.
26. All right. You really take in the room, looking around, not just at the cabinets, but kind of within them, though many are empty. You notice that the depth of these cabinets, in places like this, every square inch is very valuable, and they seem shallower than they should be, which speaks to either extra armor or some kind of systems that are maybe more complicated or not immediately obvious. You begin to look around, and as your feet hit the ground, you notice it sounds relatively hollow. Looking with that roll, you kind of peer, your foot follows, and you kind of follow the sounds, clang, 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 clang. And where it gets louder, you kind of follow it to the door, and looking out, you notice there is a square hatch. Probably either an additional deck or some kind of storage space, but you do find that. In terms of chemicals and things of that nature, you find a half-eaten chocolate bar in one of the unmade beds.
I give it to Gibbs.
You bite into this. It is perfect for you because it is like the most artificial, like manufactured chocolate bar that you could get. Like a
Wrapper
very
and all,
standard-
just.
Yeah, sure. A little foil bit stuck in your teeth.
0.01%
We're
actual
gonna be
cocoa.
I think
Good
someone's been here
friends.
before. Clearly not the first person to investigate this ship.
Yeah. Meanwhile, in the cockpit.
Oh wait, no. Spice is
Sure.
my turn.
Yeah, go for it.
Spice is gonna come up here too.
Okay, so yeah.
And like lean against the wall.
The camera follows Spice now going by the rest of this and then into the cockpit where this Farron is sitting down kind of pointing out some of the basic flight controls, although you
I
are
already know
very-
all of it.
yeah.
I'm just like, keep talking, buddy.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Well, he's not a threat, so I'm gonna let him sit. He's.
okay. I
was
thought you
gonna-
had something you wanted to do. Sorry.
No, I have no. I'm just watching, making
Okay.
sure that
So now
Farron
we're both
doesn't
just
pull some
watching
shit.
him
No
talk about
worries.
random shit.
Yeah,
I'm
like maybe smoking a
I
cigarette,
already
like in the
know
corner.
how to do all of
Yeah.
this and
Yeah.
probably more than what you know.
And he's going to say, so, like, you know, I'm not really like the person that flies this, but the
I think
person
I
that.
can handle it.
Okay. Okay, if you say so. He's just going to sit back. About that moment, all of a sudden, on your wrist, you can hear.
People,
Oh,
Peep, is that you?
hey,
So you
Pete.
pick up your communicator. Give me just one moment here. Beep, 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 beep. Takes a second. It's like a dial-up. Takes a second to like establish a connection. You know?
Oh, we're getting some interference.
All right. On the other end, suddenly a holograph flickers, this little blue image, and you see the small, anxious-looking, skinny little Yosoki version or image of Peep, the little Yosoki mission coordinator for your team. He kind of squints through, kind of unable to see, and says, "Hello? Can you guys hear me? What the heck is going on out there? The news says there was a terrorist attack, a nanite missile."
Oh, Peep, we handled it. It's fine.
I can't believe you got it okay. Wait a minute.
We're all
What?
here.
Not
Why aren't you
quite.
using your shuttle's transponder? Why aren't you using your shuttle's comms?
Oh, about that.
I'll let you field this one.
We have a new, bigger and better ship, Peep. Take a look around, and she when you're on FaceTime, shows the ship.
I'm just
So this is gonna So for all of you, you see the screen as Spice shows it. You see the Yosoki just pulling their ears back like this, and as you pull this back, he just goes, "What do you mean you got a better ship? What happened to the one you were issued?"
well,
Okay, so Spice goes up to this Farron person, and she's like, "This guy gave it to us."
Hey, no, it's not for you guys.
Oh
You
no!
know,
And then
it's,
she takes away the camera. She's like, "Oh no, it's for us."
Peep on the other end goes, "Oh, by the universe, this is going to be so much paperwork. What happened? How did that? Do you know what happened?"
It's probably on the news.
Yeah, the media is saying that it was a terrorist attack.
Well, yeah. So the Cygnus Bandit
Was responsible for all the trauma.
You're not there.
We didn't quite get him, but yeah, he had a nanosite bomb, and he ruined the
For the
place.
record,
That wasn't
Peep.
us. It wasn't us, Peep. It wasn't us. I
this
swear.
is all news to me as well.
He you could see he's just trying. He's looking down. You can't see him. The ears twitching.
Peep,
says-
it's fine.
If it does make you feel better, the specifications of this ship are pretty much a complete upgrade.
Okay, let's put the ship aside for a second. Okay. Okay. You said it was the Cygnus Bandit.
Cygnus Bandit, it was all his fault. I swear.
All right. So we can't really be held fully responsible
No.
for this, right?
No, insurance will cover it.
Oh God, Maxwell's gonna kill me.
I don't think insurance
Oh,
will
and then he's
cover
gonna
it.
make Waldo
Shame.
revive me, and then
It's
he'll
an
bring me back to
entire
life, and then he'll kill me
Waystation.
again, and then oh my, oh my, oh my. Okay. Focus, Peep.
Peep,
Focus, Peep.
peep,
Yeah.
breathe.
Oh, okay.
You're
Oh,
gonna
small
be
doesn't mean
okay.
scared. Small doesn't mean scared. Small
You're
doesn't mean
fine.
scared. Okay.
You're a
okay.
big
All right.
rat in
Look.
this huge, infinite, vast
Make
universe.
a. This is a not bluff. God, the
Oh, if it's
skills.
bluff, let me do it.
You probably should. 'Cause
I gotta peek at
I
this
got
little.
nothing.
They're all hidden around. Diplomacy.
If it's diplomacy, also
Diplomacy,
let me
please.
do it.
Diplomacy.
Yeah.
4.
No.
He snaps back at you. Don't tell me what to do, okay? I'm the mission coordinator here, and small doesn't mean scared. I'm perfectly adequate.
I agree with you. I literally just said that.
Okay, look, I was calling you guys because... okay, I was talking you guys up because I'm an idiot, and while word of this hasn't gotten out, we kind of need to jump on this next opportunity.
Let's lie
because
to everybody.
As soon as this gets out, probably you're never going to get another offer again. Oh, okay, so the Jacinto Corporation approached Mosaic about taking a job. So we have this as an exclusive. Further, you'll be pleased to know this takes place on Dorado, which is a galactic conservatory. There's a couple species of exotic birds. You can blow up trees, you can blow up rocks. There's really no cause for collateral damage. Just don't kill the birds. They're 1,000 credits each.
Birds.
I'm going to transmit this bounty to you now. On your little comms, all of a sudden, this bounty pops up. You see bounty 0177. Name, Peter Iguanga. You can see...
Say that one more time. Peter what?
Iguana.
Iguanga.
Oh,
Iguanga.
Iguanga.
Peep says, this is Peter Iguanga, a.k.a. Bill Black, a.k.a. Peter Black, a.k.a. in the gaming community, I'm told, XX Taco Black XX. He was a corporate scientist for Jacinto's Discovery Division, and he boosted a prototype and I guess took off to some other company to rendezvous and sell it. So they want us to go and retrieve this prototype. Bill Black, because that seems like the least ridiculous to say, is only worth 200 credits, dead or alive, but the real objective is the prototype. That's going to net us a cool 10,000 credits if we can get it. It's called Project Cuttlefish. It's a prototype starship hull application capable of changing the outward appearance of a starship to a certain extent, I guess. Return that to the Jacinto office in the Eclipse Mall over at the Ventrusian system, and that's 10,000 credits. And maybe enough to get us more work even after news of this breaks. You guys know Jacinto, right? This is the wealthiest corporation in the entire galaxy.
What?
I know Jacinto, right?
Yeah, everybody knows Jacinto. Jacinto is
Of course we do, Pete.
So Jacinto is the corporation, the mega corporation that you could think of it in ways as like
The
Tesla,
Wayland,
SpaceX.
oh.
This is the first person that made contact. Jacinto Corporation made contact with the Lashunta.
Lashunta.
So they are
Oh,
well
I
known by the
know.
Lashunta.
Just know.
They're those.
They're not, and I will
those
say,
guys who drunk called us that
for the
time.
Lashunta, not a favorable opinion of Jacinto.
I bet I already don't like it.
Yeah.
I didn't like it when you were describing it, and I really don't like it now.
So, Peep says, who knows? If we don't screw this up, we might actually get more work, and we might actually be able to start choosing between missions, and that would be pretty nice. So, let's not mess this up. It takes place in the Teegarden system. It's about 12 light years from where the Sol system is. You guys can get there in a couple of days by drift. Does this new ship have a drift drive, perchance?
It does, as a matter of fact.
It does. Okay, great. So you guys should be able to get there, no problem. Again, it's a conservatory. We have an exclusive on this. There shouldn't be anybody else there except probably this other corporation. If you can get some information about that, maybe Jacinto will be able to pay extra. I don't know. It's not on the contract, but it doesn't hurt to try. Again, Peter Iguanga. And as you look at this image, you can see this guy. He has a little bit of a belly, slightly thin auburn hair. He wears rounded wood-rimmed glasses, and you can see next to his name, you see former senior project lead, Jacinto Corporation Discovery Division. Now, I believe they said that he's meeting up with somebody from Anubius Dynamics, which is a pretty small company. I can't imagine they'll have any like assets in the field. This seems like a pretty straight swap. I think you guys are going to have the gun advantage in this situation, should you need it. Again, please don't kill the birds, okay? Do you guys need anything before I go try to start filling out the thousands of forms I'm going to need to?
No, Baba, we got
Just a
this.
smile from our dear old Peep.
Peep out, and he just shuts. The comms go quiet. You can see the Farron turn to both of you and go, all right, look, I'm not giving you the ship.
Okay.
Oh, no,
And
it's
very
not.
technically, it's not really my ship either, all right?
So then
It's
it doesn't
stolen.
matter what you say.
Okay, but again, you remember what I said
So-
about the transponder?
What?
Sure.
What's going to happen when you run across a security patrol? You're in USR space.
What's gonna happen?
So if you don't have a transponder, that would be the same as driving around without a license plate. And so probably they're going to stop
Can we
you.
make a fake one?
I don't know. Are any of you capable of doing that?
What would?
Yeah,
be
what does that
required?
require?
So in character, he says, now, the way that we were getting around this is we're able to put up a program that's able to kind of hijack the scanning systems, lowers your scanning for a little bit, but we're able to put a fake signal out. It won't hold up to like real close scrutiny, but it'll get you by like a quick checkpoint, no problem.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you interested in talking to me now, or
I didn't say I wasn't interested in talking to you. You just had nothing interesting to say.
okay? Well, you know what? Let's see how this pans out. I'm sure you guys can figure it out. Kind of sits back, kicks his feet up on the dashboard. He kicks a little button, and the whole ship kind of and goes boom, boom, and he kicks the other button on the other side, and it kind of back.
All right. Well, is that?
All right, to
are we
Dorada.
taking off?
Take us, pilot.
All right, everyone, buckle up.
So
Buckle up,
yeah, you guys can
bitches.
just go straight into the drift if
What
you
do we-
want. No problem.
Okay. I mean, are we actively like in an explosion? How much of this have I seen? I've like.
So it's not an explosion. Turning and looking, there aren't really ports actually, so you have to throw on the cameras. But looking at the
Okay.
cameras, you can see behind you this asteroid.
So are we like already flying, or are we still docked?
You guys are kind of floating off now.
Oh, okay.
The way that I imagined it, you kind of kicked in the drive, got a little bit away from the station, and then kind of kicked it off to just drift while
Okay.
you were
While we
figuring
were
your
chatting
shit
with
out.
Peep.
Currently behind you, you see this asteroid that looks as if it's shimmering in the heat, and you realize kind of up against the backdrop of this very volcanic planet, it's not heat, it's just millions, if not billions, of nanites swarming around, consuming the last bits of metal on this thing before
Wow,
they probably
Waystation
die
El
out.
Paso
Gonna
is
turn over to
gone.
Spice. Like, well, you guys really fucked that one up, huh?
Well, bitch, you weren't even there to help us. Shut up.
Well, clearly I need to be there because the entire way station is destroyed.
Just take us to Dorado.
So you reach down. Okay, this is going to be canon now. There's like a big
no.
lever.
That was my. We're moving. Not my.
Okay, so you guys are
There's a switch that just takes us into
No,
overdrive.
I mean, you're gonna. This is like your hyperdrive.
Oh, this
kind
is
of
my.
thing?
Yeah,
We're
this is
going
my-
into
we're
the
going
drift,
into
babe.
We're drifting.
Alrighty. Give me just 1 second here.
I'm gonna like this. Pass me a cigarette.
Okay, she flicks you one.
Catch it, because I'm awesome like that.
Fantastic. Love it.
Now I'm smoking a cigarette and I'm flying a spaceship.
She also flicks one to this Farron.
Hits him in the face. He's like, what the fuck?
Whatever.
He's gonna kind of grab it and fumbles it a little bit and says, "Thanks."
She
See,
nods.
like that's not so bad. You could learn something from your friend. He takes it and just kind
I
of
look
takes
over.
out a very disposable
Yep.
lighter and just kind of flicks it open.
Learn something new every day.
So, give me just a moment. Oh man, I forgot to load in my my sound effects
Stats? Oh.
for my my cool engines.
We can make it. Vroom, 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 vroom. We got it.
Oh,
Nice.
engaging thrusters.
Sounds like a
thrusters.
crazy
It just goes, and you guys, as you kick in your drift engine,
Whatever it might sound like.
whatever it will, no, I'll show you guys later what it sounds like. It's just Darude Sandstorm.
Yeah, oh my god, yes!
Windows.
Anyways,
Everybody starts dancing.
so,
All the lights are flashing.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
a strobe
When you
effect
engage
inside.
the drift, all the disco lights start going.
yeah, that's exactly how it works. So, if you guys want, you could buy lights to do that, no problem.
Oh,
and
we
we can
want
actually make it happen in
100%
here now.
are.
We're like
We should get the
3,000
plaid, like
credits in debt now, aren't we?
We're
At
not
the
in debt, it's
moment,
still
if
covered
you
up.
go by
Peep is gonna
technically-
cover it up.
Technically, so the company immediately covers it, but you guys are, yes, accruing debt for sure.
We could make more money if we turn in this fair.
No.
Not
Uh,
this
the art,
puny
though.
bitch. The art, though.
Well,
no
so-
one mentioned to
so-
be the art.
let's reduce this meta conversation for a second. As you boost this drive, whatever it may sound like, space around you, it's almost as if the stars fold and go out. And the ship, you don't feel an acceleration, but the place that you are in is different. This is an expanse of darkness, clouded at the edges by strange amorphous columns of weird space gas that just kind of drifts in weird, almost eddies and streams. Here and there it swirls as if something moves through it, although maybe just a effect of this place.
These are all on the cameras. Just seeing all this.
Yeah, so there's cameras, and then also in the cockpit you actually have a very large field of view over you and around you. Oh, I didn't bring the top of the cockpit. My fault. It's upstairs. It looks very honestly much like the Millennium Falcon cockpit. It has all the windows kind of around it and in front of it.
Okay,
So-
I can visualize.
Yeah, so you can see
Swivel.
the drift, just so everybody
Is
is
this
aware.
like the?
That's the door.
That's the door.
That
Oh.
just
I
goes
just
in.
put it
So if you
there.
guys wanted
I
to shut
see.
it, you could.
Being a
Um,
scumbag.
So,
It's fine.
for all of you, since we haven't been in the drift before, the drift is a section of space that is aside from space. It's almost like what a lot of people imagine to be like the inside of a black hole. It's just a lot of this weird kind of mist, and then every now and then things get drawn into the drift. So there can be whole worlds, solar systems, strange chunks of super space stations. There are creatures that live within the drift. It is always changing. When you enter into it, you are not necessarily in the same place that you would have been entering into it the same juncture in real space last time. It shifts and moves. The only way to find your way through is to travel through these things called, or to these things called drift beacons. They are anchored both in the drift and in actual space. And so you can find them, and no matter how the drift changes, you can still locate the beacons. Although it does mean that the distances change from time to time.
So is this instead of hyperspace? Like, is hyperspace not a thing?
Yes,
Okay.
so hyperspace is not a thing in Starfinder. This is like a relatively canon thing.
Yes.
In Starfinder, there is also like Triune and a god who like brought the drift. That you guys don't know if that's a thing in this, but as
I
far
read a
as
book about
any
it
of you,
once.
as far as any of you have heard, that's not a thing. So looking around, you can see these beautiful sort of shimmering clouds of mysterious space dust, and here and there, small chunks of little rocky debris, not moving, just kind of floating casually.
I'm setting course for our target.
Sure. You set course for the target, and you see this kind of blip appear in your sensors, and you can kind of navigate using that. There isn't necessarily, at least that you found, like an autopilot function. Easy enough to do very simple things, but hard to set a course through the drift and then autopilot through that. There are sections where it's easier. This is not one of those. This is pretty tight. So you are now in the drift. Go ahead and roll a d6 for me.
D6. 6.
Okay.
Wow.
As you engage, kind of tracking where that drift beacon is, you see it at the furthest expanse of near space.
God damn it. Should have rolled a 1.
This is going to be about a 6-day trip.
Luckily,
Luckily, we can fast forward time, but we can kind of get to that in a second.
Do I find out that it's going to take 6 days?
Yes, yeah. So like you see all these calculations scroll across the top, and you sit down, kind of crossing your arms, waiting, because typically this will take about 5 minutes, 10 minutes. It's done. 6 days, and then it begins counting down. You can see like the time. The Farron also kind of looks over and goes, "So, what do you do for fun?" All right. Kind of turns and takes a drag of his cigarette. The whole cockpit now getting very smoky as the three of you smoke in this relatively
Chain smoking.
confined space. You hear the HVAC overhead begin to like a little louder as it sucks in the smoke to prevent it from causing any kind of problem.
Can I chat with this Farron? Well, here we go. So Spice is gonna go up to this Farron and be like, "So tell me about the sculptures."
Oh, I mean, he turns and peers back through the 3 doors all the way back to the
I'll shut
cargo
the door.
space. Well, I don't know a lot about them, and without being able to see them, I can't tell you a ton, but no, we picked them up from a couple different space stations, taking them out of like installations and things like that. We also took a bunch of money, but
Took a
The boss isn't real good at keeping track of his finances. He bought that, the thing that you guys unleashed or whatever. I don't really know how it happened.
I don't either. I wasn't there.
I was there, but the wall was on fire, and then you did something that was. Oh, you weren't.
Not in the room.
The Yosoki did something that was pretty gross, and I'm not really sure what that was. So
Turn back to Spice again. Be like, you really fucked this up.
yeah, there was a lot going on.
Shut up, you weren't even there.
So anyways, yeah, we picked up 3 or 4 sculptures. I know like a couple of them probably were some money. They were just sort of things that we were gonna. I don't really know what his plan with that was.
So they're worth something?
Yeah, I mean it's
He
art.
said he
you know,
took
I'm
them from
sure.
museums, right?
Sure.
Sure.
Make what's insight in this game?
Great question.
That might
Sense
be an
motive?
actual...
Oh, sense
Since
motive.
we're
okay.
learning, sense motive check. Thank you.
I got
We're learning
this.
Starfinder, guys. Give us a month and we'll have it. Get to the
19.
drift.
Nice.
19?
Yes.
With the 19, you kind of look at him and you get the sense that probably not true. And he sees you like really looking at him. It's like this very, very like intense look.
We're just like
he's
blocking
like-
eyes.
All right, not so much like a museum. You know how sometimes you get into a space station and as you get off, there's like a nice sculpture and like the sign that says like, you know, welcome to Waystation El Paso, for instance.
So you're
You were
stealing
stealing
street signs?
monuments?
I mean, it's like corporate art. You know, it's not like it's not fine necessarily.
Are you hiding
Well, art is
stuff in the corporate
subjective,
art?
so-
Like, why? Why are you stealing this corporate art?
I don't know. We stole a lot of stuff. We stole a dog once, but I convinced him to let it off at one of the stations.
Was it named Iron?
Was his name what?
Nothing, never mind.
That must be why your bounty is so low.
Yeah.
Look, I don't know why you're so hostile towards me. You know, we're stuck in here for 5 days, basically 6 days. So, you know, we should probably try to be more cordial.
Yeah, be nice, Shade.
Shade?
Yeah, this is Shade. Here you go, Farron, Shade, Farron. What is your name?
Well, Lashunta, my name, you can just call me Thaddeus. It'll be easier for you guys to remember.
Thaddeus.
Do you even have a bounty?
Look, it's not a competition, okay?
I'm just assessing the value to me.
I don't know. Probably not, I would imagine. You know, I just kind of do contract
He's not
work
a
and,
human. Don't mind him.
No, I know. He's an android.
Yes.
Look at him.
Don't mind his social inabilities.
That's fair. I don't really know a lot about
I just
androids.
don't really care.
Fair enough. You know what? I actually think it's a little cramped in here. So he kind of like stands up. I'm gonna go back to my bunk, and he walks out the door and then takes that left hallway.
Yeah.
You see the other bunks in that little hook. You guys stuck the ferret in there?
No.
Terrible.
Peep is fine. Peep is fine. I swear it's fine.
So while you guys are figuring that out,
Nice, okay.
There we go.
what would you guys like to do? So we'll do it this way. For this first day that you guys are on this,
Is there enough food to survive 6 days in space?
that's a great question.
Hearing 6 days, I start to get a little like hyperventilating
Yeah, I
about
think-
the fact that I
Is
ate that
there an
chocolate bar so
intercom
quickly.
system?
I hadn't thought about that. Give me a second.
Can I?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. You know, like once he shuts the door, I'm like, all right, everyone, buckle up.
You just
It's
hear
gonna be
this
a
very,
6-day trip.
very excited voice come over the loudspeaker. The Farron, you guys, as this happens, kind of walks by the room that you guys are in. He looks in and goes, "Oh, wow!" And he just keeps going down the other hallway. So for the first day, yeah. So you're talking about food. How much food do you all have on?
I don't think I have any.
I
I probably have
alcohol.
the leftover snack that I had from when I got the vending machine.
You have 2 halves of a cat.
That probably. I'm an android. That's probably enough for me for 6 days.
You need like oil or a few gas.
That's racist.
Sorry.
I eat food.
So androids function off.
Sorry.
But
I do not know.
yeah, Spice is not a scientist.
No.
That's
And
fair.
I have like -1 intelligence, so.
So
That is fair.
yeah, if you guys don't have any food,
I
would be-
have
that's
one
really tough.
common meal, but no one else knows that.
Oh, man.
I do. I would have smelled it.
So who are you guys gonna eat?
I mean, I guess the Farron, right?
Can we make a pit stop?
Oh my god, yeah. Are there pit stops in the drift?
So I mean, you could punch in different coordinates. The thing is, you know,
It's gonna be 6
We have
days.
to go grocery
plus.
once you
shopping.
get into the drift, altering course mid drift is really dangerous. Really dangerous. But you can do it. Absolutely.
Like, I can do it as in I'm
In the
able
same
to,
way that, like,
or
on the
like
Mass
I
Pike-
can do it as in like I have the abilities within me to successfully do it, not just do it and fucking die.
No, technically you could theoretically do it. In the same way
That's
that
not reassuring.
if you started in the far right lane on the Mass Pike, you could
Oh,
probably
you can-
pull a Yui
I can
onto
probably
the other.
Jersey slide onto the other side.
Like it's possible.
Here we
I
but-
hate
go,
this.
Jesus, take the wheel.
I don't like
For
that.
those
Someone
of you
who
who don't
drives
live
it
in
all the time.
Massachusetts, the
We're
Mass
not doing
Pike
that.
is just the worst highway.
Oh, it's the awful.
Yeah, it's not a great
Oh
highway.
man.
I actually
yeah.
don't mind it that much. but
Cool. So
like
I don't think I want to do that because then that would just suck.
Spice
Um,
looks over at the Farron. Oh, Farron's not in the room anymore.
Nope.
Never
Could
mind.
we look on the ship for food, maybe? If there's
Yeah.
tons of
Yeah,
rooms?
I'm gonna
I'm
back on the intercom. None of you got food, did you?
Silence.
Gibbs, you have good sense of hearing, right?
I have a.
There's just smell.
I got big ears.
You got big ears.
I don't know that I actually have anything that like.
Make a perception check.
Yeah. Why not?
Could someone check the fridge?
Is there a moldy lobster in the
12.
fridge?
No.
With a 12.
That's
But
gonna
I'm a
increase
little
our
panicky.
problems.
Yeah,
tenfold.
really would.
It's a
No
little,
opening
like,
the moldy
Been
fridge.
6 days
I
and
won't
like
do it.
knowing what I've got on my person and how little I trust these people.
Mhm.
Like I hear 6 days and I like can taste the chocolate on my mouth and there's just like a little bit of like feral like scampering around being like, oh, there
As you
needs
begin
be
to
something."
scamper, you begin to scamper like food. Like your Yosoki brain begins looking in all the corners. You begin to like lift up little cabinets. You see Gibbs up the wall for a second and pull off like an air grate and look in before back in. All of a sudden, as you do that, you smell food. With that check, you don't know where it's coming from, but you do smell food.
The
Salt,
feralness
something
goes
salty.
into overdrive
Yeah.
and I kick down every door to try and like track it down.
No problem. You go running down that curved hallway first, and as you do, you see the Farron on the bottom bunk, biting into some kind of like a dried-looking meat.
Here.
He kind of turns, seeing you, and just goes,
He's in
"Are you
there.
friendly, or are you
I'm gonna
like
put him on
not?"
top so he doesn't get
Friendly.
stuck.
Very friendly.
Okay,
And I work for treats.
great. What do you do?
I am magic, and I can. You might look hurt. Do you want to?
I saw you heal your friends. I think I'm gonna just kind of rest. You hungry? Kind of reaches by. He's like watching you to make sure you don't touch him. But he pulls out one of these. It's like a little. It's almost like the size of like 2 Oreos, basically. It's like a little meat puck. It's jerky, and he just kind of gives it to you. He's like, "All right, there's your treat. So disappear.
Sure.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Disappear.
Let me know if you need anything.
All right.
Um,
What's your name?
Gibbs?
Gibbs. Okay.
Gibbs.
I'll let you know if I need anything.
I'm very nifty. Just letting you know.
Okay.
I'm going to take the meat puck and I'm going to tuck it into my cheek pouch
Okay.
and
Yep.
not consume it.
Yep.
And tell no one.
It's a Yosoki ability, so sure. You tuck it into your cheek pouch, and you now have at least a little ration left.
So I would probably be right outside the kitchen, right?
Yeah, that's where you
Yeah.
were.
Yeah, that's where I
last
was.
time. I think you're
Oh,
still
I'm-
there. Yeah. You're here now.
Okay, cool.
You were talking to him there.
Yeah.
I'd probably have wandered off a little bit, check out the armory. This is the armory, right here?
Yep, that is the
Okay.
armory.
I'd probably just open the door and just look in, and just my eyes would go wide, just looking how everything looks really nice. It's a pretty nice armory, right? Like the ship looks pretty nice. Is it still pretty?
So you open the door, and you walk in, you see benches, you see lockers, you see space for weapons. There are no weapons.
Ah, shit.
However, this is slick, polished steel.
I
This
love
is
it.
completely untouched. You can see maybe at one point, like the Farron hung a bag or something there because there is like a little disturbance on one of these racks. But I mean, just clean as could be.
Just
I'm gonna
like
take
an
out
iPhone.
a post-it note, put it on the door, write the time and date, Gibbs free, and then underneath it I'm gonna write, please keep your hands and paws, underline, free of dirt. Dirty weapons are dangerous.
It's 2 Post-its.
Yeah,
It just kinda
essay.
scrawls to the side. Fantastic. Love it.
It's the 99 pieces.
Yeah. So you post that on the armory, no problem. Is there anything else other people are checking out?
I think I would probably just like sit back in the chair and be like, so you want to tell me what happened, or
What do you want to know?
how did you
We
blow up the
didn't
entire
get
way
the
station?
target. We failed.
It looks like you got the target and then some.
Well, how we can't get a bounty for a body we don't have.
Well, because the bounty was capture alive, not capture blowing up the entire station.
We didn't even blow. Well, he did it. He did it. The Cygnus bandit. He had the nanosite bomb. He was the one who did it. We were just all at the bar hanging out. I don't know what else to tell you.
All right, fine. I don't really care.
Good. Onward.
So, what I really care about, though, is
What?
not dying on a 6-day trip due to starvation.
That is a problem. What
Got
should we do about
any
that?
Thoughts on that? Probably not.
Did you say that over the intercoms or just to her?
I'm not on the intercom
Okay.
now.
Well, we have one on ship that is not part of Mosaic 5.
So you're thinking about eating the ferret, too.
No, that's not what I said.
Well, that had crossed
I like how
my
it's been
mind.
3 hours and you guys are like, we're going to eat this guy.
Well,
Wow.
that had
I'm never
crossed-
going camping with any of you.
Oh man, I'm hungry.
Jeez. Yeah, I
Well,
know.
we can't stop. I don't want to stop in the drift, so.
Well, we can. It would just be.
Is there like a
ill-advised.
McDonald's in the drift?
McDonald's went extinct like 100 years ago after the fast food wars.
Oh my god, the fast food wars.
Burger King's only
So-
existed.
Yeah.
While
In a
this
surprise episode,
while
the
this is
Dark
going
Horse
on,
Burger
I'm
King.
in the kitchen and I'm going to pull out my custom scanner and scan for any life forms aboard the ship.
Okay, yeah, do it.
Is
For
that a-
that, I'm going to say that's a perception check.
Okay.
And I think there's a modifier you get for using that scanner.
Yeah, the scanner. The rules are sort of more for what to do in combat.
Sure. So yeah, just make a
So-
perception check. That's fine.
Okay. Let's see. Hey, a natural 20.
Oh,
Wow! Woo!
So you take out the scanner, you start keying a few things in, you hear these little blips, and the top of this thing moves. You notice a few things. First of all, you see this Farron kind of in this bunk area, but all of a sudden you see Gibbs kind of like away. You see the Farron kind of get up, this little blip representative of them. They kind of move down to like the main hallway, and you actually hear them out in the hall. The blip stops for a second. Ooh.
Oh.
Oh, battle cam down. Luckily, I don't think it's on right now. What's it called? That threw me off.
You're talking about the Farron blips on the blipper blip.
Thank you.
And
The
you
blips,
hear
yeah, the
Absolutely.
blipper
Blipper blip. I don't know, whatever it's called.
You see the Farron stop for a second. What is your wisdom?
My wisdom is 11.
You hear in the hallway this faint lifting or shifting of metal, this rustling, and then the Farron kind of returns to their bunk. Aside from that, this very new, very clean ship does not seem to have any insects, any life forms. that
Other
would
than the
be
ones
alien,
that
aside from
Gibbs
Yeah, and so in that other room, all kinds
In the
of
kitchen?
things. And you can see like a few things beginning to move into the air ducts and that nature. But it's like all spreading from the main kind of specimen room.
Infestation, yeah.
I used to read about ships like this when I was a lad. I'm sure there's a secret booty chamber in here somewhere. I'll just go on my hands and knees on the floor and start hitting the floor panels
Sure.
randomly.
Didn't you
So-
find that great?
Taking some time, you start doing that and doing it like especially you're in the cargo bay.
I'm in this part. Yeah.
With a natural 20, what
Oh,
you
nice.
do is you kind of step out, and
up?
as you step into the hall and into that main four-way corridor, your foot hits the ground and clang, very hollow. You look down and you can see, though the pattern is very similar, the patterning on the floor, this metal plating, the design on the edges, you kind of get down, and as you press your hands, they two sections depress, and you're able to pull away a grate, and there is a smuggling area, and you can see a few boxes of what is marked as Eats Meats. It is an artificial meat brand. You can see there is, in the very bottom, a little white miniature, it looks like a refrigeration unit. Maybe about like, maybe like 2 feet tall, very small. But that is what you see. There is more space down there. This is a smuggling, like a smuggling bay, essentially. It's very short, probably about like 4 feet at the tallest points, but you could definitely have a good amount of stuff down there.
So I hop on my comlink and I say, "Where there's pirates, there's booty." And I call everyone over.
Can I leave the, like, am I stuck in the pilot
No,
seat?
no. You just can't really like.
I can't.
Let
navigate
Siri
for, like,
take the
Right,
wheel.
it's kind of like going
Gotcha.
straight and
I'm gonna go there.
not
sort
changing
of.
course.
Like it
kind
will
of thing.
change course and stuff, but you don't want to like step away for a long time.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna go over there too.
Sure. So all of you gather around in the hallway and look down this hole. You can see the grate shifted and off to the side.
Is the
and,
Farron with us too?
the Farron? Yeah, if you're gonna call everybody over, the Farron's gonna go over and go. Oh, all right. So you guys found you found the stash. That's the food. Looks
So
like we're
you knew
sharing.
about that and weren't going to tell us?
No, you guys seem to have everything figured out. So
Well,
I gave some to.
I guess that
That was
justifies
the-
our plan.
I go over to one of the crates, lift up the top, and then spit the puck I had in my mouth into the top of the crate, being like, communal resources.
The rest are all they're individually wrapped. So this little wet puck like into it and then slides between two.
No problem with that. I go
You
back
see
to
the
my
Farron
business.
just go, oh, okay, well, that's kind of why I wasn't telling people about this stuff. So
Sharing is caring, and you shared with me.
Aw.
So I'll share with all of you.
Cute.
Big mistake there, buddy.
yeah, no, this was. Anyways, so we're all sharing now. Enjoy that. He kind of heads back to his bunk. You hear like a long sigh as he does.
This is life at least for the next 6 days.
Yeah, for sure.
Shade up, maybe you could make us like a first meal together on our ship. That'd be like so cool. Like
Dinner party.
Oh my god, yeah.
Am I the chef now?
I can cook.
Santi over here.
I don't want whatever Shade's cooking.
I mean, I could probably cook.
I can cook.
It's
might
not a
not look
skill.
You have
like
a
it.
box
we don't
of
have
beef
skills.
jerky. Okay.
I got
Squeeze
no. I
into
got.
some molecular gastronomy.
I got.
Yeah, I
some,
mean, you know
Yeah,
what, Bessie,
Liz.
you could probably do some
Sorry.
interesting
Yeah, Bess, could you make us
textural
something?
changes for sure.
Meat foam.
A delicacy in some places.
Eat foam.
I'm gonna at the ask, and no one's volunteering. I'm gonna take enough rations for everyone, go to the kitchen,
No.
and
You should not be the one to cook.
Are you actively stopping her?
Yes, I'm.
don't worry, I got
No
it.
offense,
And I cast the
but,
same spell,
you know,
and I
like-
clean my hands, and I hold them up to you, and you can see that the dirt sort of like melts away, just to the wrist. It's not like a whole thing, but it's like. I got
And
it.
it's like almost like a glove line.
I'm
And you
like,
can see
like,
the
around.
because I don't really care about the quality of the food, but I know that it bothers some people in the party. So I'm gonna like kind of grab your hand and like feel it to see if it's actually clean or just an illusion.
And you can see that like my fur underneath all the like it looks brown the way it is, but the fur once the dirt's gone is actually quite pristine gray. And I can
Make sure she washes her hand twice. That's a good superstition.
I think this is fine.
and I will go cook the jerky.
Wait.
Julia's heating it up, but one
There's
of,
something about like your hair. Put a hairnet on
Yeah.
or something.
you're asking a lot.
Chips in a hairnet. Oh my
You're
god.
asking a lot.
See if they have one at least. And then like off to the side. It'll make Bubs feel better.
Do they have a hairnet?
No. You kind of like turn, look down the hallway at the bald yellow Farron, like probably not a big
Spice
concern.
overhears this conversation. She has her hair up in a hair tie, so she like takes it out and she like takes Gibbs' ears and all their hair and kind of like just
Well,
like,
watch the earrings.
and she like takes all of it like into a bunch and like wraps it around her hair.
Turn to. Does that make you feel better?
So you just have like,
Hairnet. Yeah,
it's
like
a
your
cone.
ears are like pulled back into it.
Fantastic. So yeah, that happens.
Does it make you
bring-
feel better? I look at you for approval.
I feel as good as I would ever feel on a ship with all of you. And I smile.
High five. She high fives Gibbs.
I'll take that. And one of the features of this spell is I can also change the flavor of things slightly. So I will flavor the jerky to be extra meaty.
Extra.
Nice, extra spicy.
So you take this meat, you kind of pull it out of the wrappers, kind of making this big
With my
pile
teeth though, like it's
yeah.
like a
And I imagine like you're just like putting it everywhere.
Yeah.
There's no disposing of this. So there's little plastic wrappers all
Probably
over
gonna
the
head
place.
back to not crash the ship.
Fair enough. You head back to the cockpit.
Be like, don't worry, Bubs. Whatever we were gonna eat wasn't gonna be good. We literally only have jerky. You can't
So-
cook much with jerky.
I'm going to peel off a little piece of the jerky and put it in the bioscanner to see if I can find out what species it registers as.
Yeah, sure. Make a life sciences.
Oh,
check.
this is
Okay.
Farron.
it's the hot dog.
Please,
like
no,
everything.
Lashunta. It's a water.
people!
Oh, natural.
Please, no,
You
Lashunta.
put it in, and as you do, you put it in the scanner, no problem. You turn the scanner on, and as you do, it just reads Lashunta. Which is weird because you'd heard that Eats Meats was like a plant-based thing, so that's pretty weird.
I hope
Ooh.
I drooled in it.
Eesh.
Contaminated, yeah.
Natural one.
Well, it doesn't bother me.
But I
nice
dole
that you
out
said
the rations to everybody, feeling fine
So
about.
I assume you're like
Make
in the
a
kitchen.
hang on. Let me,
Are we
let me
like at
look.
a kitchen? Do we have a kitchen table here?
Oh
You do.
yeah.
You have a little round table
yeah, I
and a
think we
couch.
should
and
all-
everything.
we should
Yeah,
all
yeah.
come
Everybody's called in.
Gibbs, go ahead and make for me. Let's call this. We're learning Starfinder. Everybody.
Oh, he's invited to family dinner.
Yeah, does the Farron join for dinner?
What do you have for profession? No.
Profession of scout.
Why? He's one of us
hates us.
now.
Profession.
He hates us.
Why does he hate us?
Because he's racist against androids.
That's not true.
That's
at all.
not-
And
You're
because
just
you
a
guys
So
were
does
kind of
Spice.
weird to him, and totally
Hey.
not everyone was weird to him. And also, we didn't blow up his friends or anything, right?
Dirty
He's
20.
invited to dinner. He's
Dirty
on the
20?
ship.
Dirty 20.
Sure. So you all gather around the table right as this kind of microwave thing opens up, and weirdly, the smell radically different than what you had smelled downstairs. It smells because you wanted it to be extra meaty, like pastrami. It is just salt, and like you smell this kind of cured quality over everything, and even the texture seems to be better, smoother, a little bit more natural. Worth noting, this is plant-based, so you did this with plants, which is even more impressive. There is like a strange, almost black
You're
bean
not at
kind
dinner
of
with
taste
us?
as it is.
I'm flying. I gotta fly the ship. We're gonna crash.
It is bean flavored, or
I'll come
bean-based.
grab a piece of jerky at some
Great.
point.
But it's good. It's relatively
Once
good.
it's ready.
jerky,
Like,
but it
Let me know when
tastes
it's ready.
We're dead.
good.
That's what we're doing.
Take the hair tie to my hair, but I keep it on my wrist.
Okay, yeah, you off.
No,
and
my
goes
hair
on
tie.
yours.
Alright.
And it's like already stained a little bit too, so
Greasy.
probably for the best.
I'll walk over,
That's
grab my
fine.
jerky, be like, all right, thanks.
Wait.
What?
I'm gonna ask everyone to get a little closer. I'm gonna take out my one artifact that I brought with me from my time as a child. I have a Polaroid camera.
Yeah.
I only have like 3 or 4 shots on it, and I'm gonna say, everyone, get closer. This is on our first ship, we just,
That's like ancient technology.
Yeah.
I'm like, why do you have a 200-something-year-old camera?
It's fun. Just pose.
This isn't like no. This is like closer to 300 because it's an original Polaroid. camera. Yeah, this isn't like the remake in our time.
300-year-old camera.
Spice kind of like squishes everybody really close together with her elbows.
Kinda
I think
like-
she
everybody's
snuggle
faces.
into Bubsy's.
I got it from my
Ready?
childhood.
You do the countdown.
Oh, sorry. Everyone, say jerky on 3. 1, 2.
Jerky!
You snap the picture. There's this like really bright. As
Ah!
it just flashes in all of your eyes. There is the. And this little photo is produced. Bubs, you can take it out and just kind of shake it around a little bit, and
You're not
slowly, as
supposed to
if
shake
by
Polaroids.
magic. I don't fucking know. Slowly.
There's a whole song about it. Shake it off.
I do so much research.
Yes.
The one thing I didn't look up is how Polaroids work. Forgive me.
Yeah.
Ruins
I
them.
know the chemistry of the insects in this game, but I don't know how Polaroids work. Sorry.
They
So,
work kind of like insects.
do you shake in? Never mind.
You
So
don't shake insects.
There's a whole song about it.
you carefully manipulate this Polaroid in a way in which the vision comes clear. And as it does, you all see, for the very first time, all of your group surrounding this perfectly white table, all of you holding near identical pucks of jerky with various
I got
bites
mine
out
in
of
the
it.
mouth for the picture.
Yeah, so fantastic photo. And because it is, whoa.
7-11.
Wait, now I'm trying to
Not a
remember what time we go
sponsor.
till. What time do we go till? 9 o'clock?
Like 9.
6? So 7:30. We'll take a break.
Easy
7:30.
9.
Till the
Easy.
cows
We'll go a little bit.
come
We'll
home.
keep going a little bit. So
There ain't no rush here.
you guys take your photo. You have your jerky. Is there anything else you want to do for the first day? If we fast forward a
We're
little.
gonna have like subsequent photos from each day where it just devolves into a fucking
Tribal
yeah.
lifestyle.
The last one is just one sad Bubs and a bunch of bones.
I think it would be Gibbs. Probably would be the
Yeah.
one surviving at the end. All right. So
So for, is it possible for me to do a?
all of you signing us off for the session, just so you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I
Thank
already
you,
know what
Talon,
I'm
for
gonna
doing
say.
Nice. Culture check on the statues.
Make a culture check. Yeah.
Alright.
Or are they in the hold here? The
Yeah,
statues?
there's 3 sculptures. One is very large. One is like 10 by 10 feet, rises up close to 10 feet.
Okay. It's a natural one. So
Natural one?
12.
Again, 2 natural ones.
Dang.
You're pretty confident this large sculpture, the largest of them and most prominent, definitely the most valuable. It's made out of various shades of metal. You can tell that probably you have no idea how it was colored, not paint. And it's these various kind of loops and large kind of almost like silhouettes of various bits of metal in mostly primary colors. Probably really valuable, but you don't know a lot about it. So, is there anything else that you guys want to do before the first day?
Not crash the ship.
Okay,
I would
yeah.
like to send a message off. How do messages work?
So the way that messages work, you guys are on the ship, and so I'm assuming all of you have communications devices. Or not assuming, I know that. The way that I'm going to have it work is that you can use your communication devices while on the ship to send a longer range message.
Okay.
There is also a main comms device in the cockpit.
Okay. Now, I forget, you told me, it's not Absalon Station, but you changed the name. What is the name
Oh,
of that place
gosh.
that you changed the name?
Give me a moment. I have to look.
Dorado?
No, there's like it's I remember because it's so basically it's the seat of the Galactic Council.
Yeah.
Give me a second.
That sounds intense.
Is
It,
a
I mean,
hunters?
so there's like a neutral zone it's actually technically in the General Protectorate Force territory, but it is a massive space station, like planet-sized, which is where you were from. So I don't remember the name off the top of my head.
Okay.
You ambushed me,
It's
but I
called
will.
the seat of the Galactic
Like
Empire.
General
Yeah.
Protectorate Force.
So there at the seat, I have someone who was very dear to me, who got me into bounty hunting after a brief period of where I was a little bit lost in life. And his name is Steele, and he's a dirty cop. And he has like a very, very distinct, like tight voice. And I'm gonna. I'm gonna send a message. He's kind of like he looks a little bit like Shade. He doesn't have an eye patch, but he's like his hair is slick back. He's very old, probably in his like 40s.
Oh, so old.
I'm not old.
For Bubs, it's old.
Yeah, I mean I'm like 21, just turned the week, so that's
Oh
old.
my god, what a young man. Okay.
Well, it was my birthday beer.
Oh my god, you're right.
That was literally his first beer.
I know.
Was it your
This
birthday?
is like
Was it
barely
actually,
registering
like,
for
your
the
birthday
Yes.
last session?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Let me write that on my calendar.
No, not like
No,
in
not
real life.
in-game.
Like in game.
Oh no, I thought it was your birthday. I was like, oh, I'm such a dick.
I was like, wow, that's dedication.
Bub's birthday.
So I'm going to send a message to Steele, and he has a lot of access to police databases, and he's a dirty cop. He knows a lot of people, and he works both sides of it, So I'm going to send him some details, mostly just asking him if he's ever heard of this guy, Bill Black. What does he know about like any sort of information about like what is this place called? Dorado. And like if he knows any sort of like seedy locations.
So are you
people
calling him?
Hang out. Just a message.
Okay,
You know?
sure. So you dash all that off
Yeah.
and send it just as a message over to Steele, and we'll see when he responds.
Yeah.
Anybody else want to do anything before this day draws to a close? Keeping
Spice.
in mind there are 5 more days.
Spice doesn't do anything major. She just
Okay.
goes up to the bridge, right? Bridge.
Sure.
Space stuff. Spaceship.
Is this the bridge?
It's the cockpit, but it could be called a bridge.
Is this
yeah.
the bridge? And this
No,
is the bridge?
The cockpit would be the bridge. There is
Okay.
no. A bridge would be a
Because
capital
this is a
ship.
bridge
but-
is like big
yeah,
spaceship.
It's a capital
right?
ship. So
Oh,
the
okay.
cockpit
We don't
could be
have
called a
that.
bridge.
This is not that type of ship.
No.
That type of ship would be probably twice to 3 times as large as
That's
that.
like the
I'm alright with that.
Star
But
Trek.
it's really it's this
Yeah,
is like the
Star
difference
Trek
between
level.
a
I
den
want
and a
that
living
ship.
room. Like this is the
I want to
difference
be
between a
able
den
to
and a
just
living room.
stand at the front and be like,
Yeah, I want the like little bar in front of me.
yeah.
One of the upgrades to never mind. Anyways,
I will
Engage.
need that. So
Anyway.
she can't do that. She's just
There are
looking
4
out the
seats there.
window.
yeah. So you look at the window as the drift passes by.
That's it,
These
yeah.
amorphous clouds swirling and shifting in very strange ways. Sometimes flowing up, sometimes almost traveling like streams. The day passes. You guys can all mark off a long rest. You guys can do any kind of passive healing that you have.
I would probably sleep in the cockpit
Yeah.
since there are only 2 bunks.
No worries. There's 3 sets of bunk beds, so there are
Oh,
6
there
beds.
are beds.
I went out of my way to get some extra beds.
Oh,
that you
nice.
guys can
Are
have
the
that.
beds removable, or are they like can you take the padding off?
Yeah.
I'm gonna take my bed and just drag it to the armory and just sleep in there.
Okay. So you pull the mattress out. The mattress, the sheets that come with it, these like crisp white sheets. You drag it down the hallway and into the actual armory itself. Sure, no problem. That's where you sleep. I'll get a separate bed set up for that. I have a single bed already, so I can replace one of them. But so you drag your mattress over there. You guys can all mark off that long rest. The second day goes by. Is there anything that you want to do on the second day, or really for this trip? What kind of
I
stuff
wanna,
do you want to do?
Get the lay of the ship, like top down. I want to find everything about this ship that I can.
So over the course of the 5 days, for you spending a lot of that time kind of really not just looking through the ship, pulling out panels, looking at
Accessing the databases.
everything. Go ahead and for the entire thing, make a This is going to be. Are you trained in computers?
Yes.
The
I
computer
have
strike.
bypass too. I
You could.
think.
So you could. Well, that you don't need to bypass anything.
No.
But you could either use computers or engineering, and they'll give you different results.
Can I do both?
Sure.
I can also. Oh,
Oh.
I can also do computers, and you can do engineering. I have
Okay. Yeah,
higher
let's do
computer
that.
than engineering. Okay.
Okay. So the two of you kind of team up and start breaking down elements of the ship. You can make an engineering check, and
Okay.
Vest, you can make a computers check.
22.
So with the engineering part of it, you decide to split up. You begin to look at the physical aspects of the ship. You pull aside like the panels. You get into the smaller subdeck. You find out a fair amount. I mean, you have the stats for the ship.
Okay, so I find out all the stats from the ship.
What I would say is with that check, again, maybe it would account for the fact that the armor for this is much heavier than a ship this size generally has. But the storage spaces are smaller than you would imagine in some spaces. Again, though, this is a really unusual ship, and as you come into things, you aren't finding manufacturing marks anywhere. Which means, and it's hard, your mind is a little bit boggled by this, this entire ship was either made by hand or manufactured very specifically for one person, and each part designed specifically for the ship, not like switched out of other ships, not standard made. Even the circuit boards you find, not manufactured.
I think at some point in the next 5 days, I would casually try to get some info out of Thaddeus.
Okay,
I
so
remembered
we'll,
his
we'll
name.
get back to that.
But yeah,
Okay.
that's all I'm doing
That's
for
what you're
5
doing.
days. And existing.
Sure. Yeah,
as
yeah.
we
No, it's good to
continue
exist.
for 5 days.
Anybody else? Other stuff?
So I'm gonna do a computer check
Sure.
to attempt to hack into the computer to
Hack into your own ship?
yeah, I'm going to look at the data logs and the flight records, see where the ship has gone, and try to see if there's been any countermeasures against hacking.
Okay,
that
so first
data.
make a computers check
First
just for
do
the
that.
countermeasures, because you
Yeah.
always want to check that first.
Okay.
One important thing to note about, you can make the check, about hacking, if you don't check for countermeasures before you do, they're automatically set off. So good thing to check for countermeasures.
Yes. So that is
Nice.
a 27.
27. Interestingly, if I remember correctly, you have the stats in front of you, but I don't believe there are countermeasures installed.
There
no,
were, there's
there is.
alarm. There
Yeah.
was an alarm, and there was
There's one more thing.
the other thing. Let me pull it up real quick.
So you find that there is alarms, although these alarms not really set for an electronic countermeasure. They're just in general kind of system-wide alarms for various things. Aside from that, it doesn't seem like it. The computer itself, quick.
Quick?
Quick. It is
Named
a fast
Quick?
computer. No.
Oh.
This is the Directive
like
Zero
the-
one.
Yes, Directive Zero is the name of the
Big
ship.
owl.
And both of you, through various means, find that the name of the ship is the Directive Zero.
Oh.
It is in common, so that's the first kind of clue that you get to its
Um,
origins, manufacture.
Okay, so there's defensive countermeasures for that. There's anti-hacking systems.
Mhm.
There's computer countermeasures, alarm, and I still don't see.
I
the
thought
other
there was one more thing.
There
but it
is
could just be
another
an
one.
alarm.
I'll pull up the original email
Okay,
that you
cool,
sent
cool,
me.
cool. That's a good idea. So, you find that out. There might be one other thing, and if it is, my assumption was it was a, I think it has a fake shell, if I remember
That's.
correctly.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
That sounds familiar.
Fake shell meaning that it looks like
yes,
it's something
it is.
else
Oh,
from the
it also
outside?
actually it has a firewall and a shock grid. on the wall.
That's what it is. So
Yeah,
luckily,
and a fake shell though.
none of these things are active. They all exist. There's a fake shell.
So there's a
Currently
fake
off.
shell. Oh, sorry.
A fake shell's more like on a terminal window. It's like you think you're typing in the actual thing, but you're actually typing in like a
So
like
it
you
can
think
make
you're writing in the right
It
notebook.
can
but
make
you're-
you think you
Oh,
hacked
what?
into it, but you didn't actually.
That's what a
Like
fake
a
shell means.
decoy.
Yeah.
That's what I was trying to check. to
Decoy
see if
main
the
page.
Wow.
info's been scrubbed. Or-
No. So interestingly, you can plot a star course on this, the most recent one, 3 jumps through the Cygnus system, which is no surprise. That's where this bandit has been making a pretty loud bank robbery, or really a bar robbery run. From that point on, there's nothing. not just scrubbed clean with that check. You search for traces. Nothing. This is the cleanest computer you've ever seen.
I'm in, but there's nothing here.
Anybody else?
Spice. Where's Gibbs right now?
Gibbs is gonna spend her time trying to empathize with Thaddeus.
Okay, so we'll have a Thaddeus conversation for those who want to be involved.
We're gonna have a
Side-eye.
fireside chat with
Yes.
Thaddeus.
But
Oh, hello! I didn't see you there.
largely, she probably spends a lot of her time in the kitchen. She's not gonna clean it in any meaningful way. But that kind of becomes because of she's passive aggressive, and she's already like marked it as her
So
territory very quickly.
Gibbs is
like
taking
animal.
control.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
It's the whole crew quarter.
oh great, well that's where I hang out,
Nice.
and unless
It's like the
Good
living
reason.
room, dining room connected, right?
Bedroom connected. Yeah, there's two
Oh,
beds
there are
in the
beds
hall.
in here,
There's
too?
two beds in the hall, but there are
this is a bed.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
so like one of those bunks is mine, and I like loiter around there a lot,
I
Okay.
don't know if the camera's even pointed at that.
and
but
I
Yeah.
back to me.
Oh, is it on?
How's
Yeah,
that?
yeah.
How's that look, chat?
Yeah.
They're
We'll
looking
find
good.
out. We'll find out in 10 seconds.
Shit.
Can you
Shit.
see all of our beds?
Yeah. So
Check out
So
those
that's where I hang out.
beds.
Okay. Okay.
mostly yeah.
yeah. So you hang out there. You can go and see Gibbs there, generally in the kitchen or the living area.
But
Crew
easy enough to
quarters is
find.
technically what it's called.
Okay.
She's a little smelly.
Okay. Perfect.
Yeah.
Interestingly, your smell doesn't really stay around that much, and probably you can hear again this vacuum-like system probably being scrubbed.
Then you just have to track the muddy footprints.
Yeah.
Spicy enough. Okay, so Spice is gonna go into the kitchen, and she's gonna like lean in the doorway a little bit and go, like, wait for Gibbs to notice her.
Hi.
She takes a drag of her cigarette. She's like, I need to apologize for what happened at Tequila Tango. I'm sorry. I told Bubs to save that dead woman instead of you.
Oh,
The
that
best
was
part about this is Matt wasn't here, so he's like learning about this for the first time.
Are you in there?
Yeah, why not?
I think I mean, I would be like.
No, I'm talking about Matt like as a
Yeah.
human. Like,
Oh yeah.
Oh.
This is all, like,
I'm not in this, yeah.
But I mean, I get that the dead have their value, but it was a little hurtful.
Yeah, and I'm sorry. That was my bad.
I feel like I would have been walking past right as you said, like, sorry that I tried to save.
I didn't realize she was a dead body until after the
Just
game.
like, I stop for a
ended.
second and I just keep walking.
That's okay. Just don't do it again, and I'll keep you alive.
Noted. Okay. Interesting response. And she kind of just like walks out of the
Casual
room.
maybe threat.
Yeah.
I like to imagine this happens like the third day.
okay,
I spend the rest of the third day cleaning the kitchen
okay.
by hand.
Cleaning the kitchen.
It comes out
Oh,
dirtier
oh.
than it was.
Yeah, wait a sec.
I don't use any magic,
Okay.
but I like put effort into it.
Yeah. It's like relatively clean.
Yeah.
So on the fourth day, you and Shade are going to talk to Thaddeus, who has made
Day
most of his
4.
time just like trying mostly to like avoid Gibbs.
Do I
really
know he's
everybody-
avoiding me?
No, I mean he's not like actively avoiding. It's mostly because you're just kind of
Right.
smelly.
Okay.
He likes you. Okay, he'll say hi to you.
Cool.
He definitely likes you more than Shade. Over these 3 days, it's become growingly obviously dislikes Shade.
Does
I
he
didn't even
dislike
do that
anybody
much.
else? Like, or does he just not have strong feelings about anybody
No,
else?
I mean, nobody else has really bothered him. So
Well, I'm gonna bother him, and I'm extra friendly, and I get how awkward this must be to him. You know.
yeah, he killed his friends.
Yeah. Killed his friends and then replaced him with crappier versions.
And yet, he likes you more than me. And I
Yeah.
didn't kill any of his friends.
Well, she didn't either. Oh no, one, but
Yeah.
but he doesn't know that
I killed
because
a lot of his friends.
you used your psychic abilities to do it. So.
Yeah.
His head just exploded.
Yeah. And like we started our relationship relationship off with a favor, so I know that he's probably feeling like he's got the upper hand. I'm gonna let him feel good things about hopefully our relationship
Okay.
going into it.
Okay.
It's a psychological trick.
Gotcha. Okay. So he says, what are you saying to him?
You want to hang out?
I mean, make a diplomacy check.
Sure. Ooh. 9.
You know, I'm really tired, and I just gotta use the bathroom. And he kind of walks out, and you just hear the door shut. Oof.
Bathroom. I might not actually be able to get that out of there. Shit.
He comes out a little bit later.
Oh.
Shade.
That's gone.
Shade, as you're walking by, the Farron just walks out of the bathroom, kind of flinches for a second, and seems like they're almost going to go back in, and kind of looks around. Are you still there?
No, I'm not gonna be creepy about it.
Kind of goes by, and he just kind of shuts the door behind him and comes out into the hallway.
Can I cast detect thoughts on this man in the bathroom?
Yeah. While he's in the bathroom? Yeah. So for Lashunta, that's... give me 1 sec.
I can only do it once a day, but I have 6 days, so fuck it.
So it's the surface thoughts. The surface thoughts, right?
I have no idea. I feel like I should have written. That was like the one spell
Yeah,
I didn't write down, so
okay.
I'm just
I got it
like,
right
I can do it.
I print all mine out.
Hey, you know what? We're learning Starfinder together. Okay, so
You have it.
they are... You detect the surface thoughts of intelligent creatures around you. The amount of information depends on how long you study them. They're in the bathroom for at least enough time that you can study it for 3 rounds. So, as your little Lashunta antenna kind of twitch, at first, you kind of detect the presence of thoughts. You can just kind of see or almost feel this amorphous sensation. Certainly, he's in there. A couple of seconds go by, and suddenly it grows sharper in your mind. Let's see here. You know that their intelligence score is 10. They're about average intelligence. You can kind of see a normal number of thoughts going by. And then as a little bit more time passes, you begin to see just little individual glimpses of thoughts. You can just hear, what am I going to do in Dorado? And then, what are they going to eat? Why do they not have anything with them? And then, I do have to use the bathroom. Everything after that is related to wishing he had eaten something other than jerky.
Bummer.
But he comes out of the bathroom.
Oh. Thaddeus.
Shade.
So, how did you come across this ship?
I mean, we stole it. It was at a star yard somewhere out in, I want to say it was near like Kepler 30, Kepler 30A specifically.
Would I know where that is relative
Make
to?
a roll a dice, and we'll call it a culture check.
That's an 11.
An 11? No, never been there. But I mean, most of the Kepler planets are kind of out in one region of space, so you have a rough idea as to the direction that it would be in.
So, no make, no model.
We got off on the wrong foot. What I was trying to tell you, day one, is that it's a weird ship. There's no make, there's no model, there's not even like VIN numbers on any of the computer components.
Yep.
I'm gonna take those apart. Even the linens, I can't find anything on. So that's weird, right?
Well, where exactly did you find it?
It was a star yard near Kepler 30A, or a starport, sorry, in orbit. It seemed like a relatively clean ship, and we needed to get rid of the last one for obvious reasons.
You just happened upon this one?
Well, we happened upon quite a few, but this one, kind of gestures around a little nicer than the other ones there. 30A is kind of like a backwater place. That's sort of
Fair
what what the boss was kind of sticking to.
Okay. Well, this is a very strange ship.
Yeah, well, we could take this, we could take a civilian cruiser, or we could try to take a military ship. And this is kind of the best choice.
Again, fair enough. I have nothing more to say to you. I'm gonna walk away.
I'm gonna catch you, but like by your, I'll grab like a belt hook and like pull you into a secluded corner.
Yes, Gibbs.
You guys are alone in the,
What's
cargo-
happening
cargo
there?
area.
Excuse me. I don't know. Ooh, here's a corner.
Can androids and Isoki find love?
Yeah.
Spice can hear this through her thoughts. Attuned to this.
You already used your one. To
I
check
know.
thoughts?
God damn it.
We might want to consider giving him something to not. Like, he's a desperate man with no options, right? And
Correct.
if we want to keep this ship and not kill him,
Well, we could always kill him.
yes, but
You guys blew up an entire way station. What's one more going
I
to
wasn't
make a
personally
difference?
responsible for that. And it feels crappy to have
I
kept him
take
alive
offense at that.
and feeding him.
Bess is here too?
He hasn't done anything wrong to us.
Not to us,
And what, to
but
some
he was
corporation?
with a wanted criminal,
For stealing crappy art. Have you
which we
seen
now
it?
have.
Right, but do we need it? What if we gave him some art?
Why don't we sell that?
Because what are we expecting him to do?
Die?
Really?
He really serves no purpose to us.
Well, then neither does killing him.
We can
Make an
Leave him
enemy in the
somewhere.
universe?
just leave him.
Right, but
But
let's
that's-
leave him with not a bad taste in his mouth.
Well, all we have is jerky.
Right, but we also have art that we're not eating, so
Well, you can't eat
we're
art.
already getting this huge boon of
I
a
don't
ship.
know what you're trying to say.
I'm saying, wouldn't it be nice for you to be good?
Well, good is a subjective trait.
Wouldn't it be nice for you to make a friend?
I think that I've had plenty of friends. Friends are also
Wouldn't it be nice for you to be my friend?
Who said that we weren't friends?
Well, I'm asking you
We're
for a favor, and
crewmates.
you're responding with murder.
I'm just suggesting that that is the most logical course of
I'm
actions
suggesting murder.
against someone who doesn't serve a purpose to our mission.
Not everything needs purpose and tidiness.
I mean, I'm not disagreeing with you. I just think that in this particular instance, looking at the options with Thaddeus, we can kind of just leave him and take the ship and sell the statues to make back some of the money that we're almost certainly going to owe for whether or not you personally blew up Waystation El Paso. We, as a crew, are culpable. Myself included.
I'm just saying, one piece of art to get him at least an ability to pawn it off isn't going to make a huge difference in our debt pool.
So we leave him with one of the statues,
One statue.
the least valuable.
Sure, you can
He
pick
still
it.
gets the entire thing.
We can
have
keep
to
the big
split
ugly
them.
one.
I don't care which one we keep. They're all terrible. The form is completely... The point is, we need the money just as bad as he probably will.
But
especially
we
if
have
we
skills
dump
and
him.
abilities. And now a ship.
Like blowing up a
That,
PlayStation? Was
Okay.
that an ability?
well, I tried to kill him faster than he killed us, but it didn't really work out that well.
So you've already tried to kill him.
No, not that Farron. He was in the bathroom.
Another Farron.
Yes, the other Farron, yes. And
The actual bounty who we were supposed to capture alive.
yeah, well, I'm not that in tune with how everything works in the universe, and so I didn't realize
That's.
you
I'm not
can't-
asking you to be in tune with
No,
the
but
entire
you can't
universe, Gibbs.
non-lethally explode someone's thoughts. I tried.
Well,
Excuse me.
Oh yeah. Well,
Could you repeat that for me?
sometimes
please?
you can like sense something, and if you yank on it hard enough, their head explodes. And so I was trying to just do like a gentle little knock you unconscious sort of thing, and it didn't work out that great. So maybe I'm a little guilty.
So you did kill the bounty that we were supposed to capture alive.
Yes, but I kept everyone
So
else
it
alive
is.
as well.
I imagine there are a number of casualties for the destruction of Waystation El Paso.
Then let me appease my guilt by setting a Farron off on the right foot.
By leaving a criminal with some of our newfound wealth.
Well, you're equating me to criminality anyways.
Who was already a member of a posse that we were tasked with capturing the leader of.
Yes. And thus ending his employment, one way or the other. And now I'm fond of him.
Which again,
He's the only one who hasn't criticized my cooking.
I
To
didn't
my face.
say that your cooking was terrible.
Well, you made a
The
face.
last time it was pretty meaty.
Yeah, it was good. I thought so too.
I'm dying over here. So you guys,
this is amazing. This
Let's
is what I
backtrack
look
a little
for.
bit. Because you were agreeing with me at one point. I want to go back to the time where you were agreeing with me to leave him with the ugliest, smallest sculpture. And,
You kind
Just
of
sweeten
talked
the
yourself
pot.
out of that now.
well, I'll owe you a favor at some point.
I mean, it's not up to me. We have to decide as a crew. But if it were up to me, he serves no purpose to us anymore, and we could use the extra money from the third statue.
But
we
will
could
you...
drop him off and not kill him, but again, that leaves a loose thread that is why you brought it up to me in the first place.
It's a loose thread that we could leave on a positive note.
Usually you cut loose threads.
I like to bead them and weave them into beautiful fabrics.
something like drips off Gibbs at that second.
Well,
It's a favor for a favor, at the very least.
I think we need to talk to the rest of the crew about what to do with Thaddeus.
Okay?
But I will not vote to kill him if there's a better option presented.
Okay.
But the
There's
option
a lot
that
of
you
buts here. This
presented,
is a long sentence.
I'm kind of on the fence about
About killing him?
about your alternative. I say leave him, keep the statues, maybe give him something else.
I don't
less
have
valuable.
anything.
Let him keep the rest of the
Give.
jerky.
We don't have any jerky. We'd have to buy jerky. We'd have to buy jerky for jerky.
Well, it is his jerky, I guess. Okay. Well, let's crew vote. I don't know how these things work. I usually just do whatever I want. So, crew,
Okay.
We're not in this. I am not in this room. You have to. I need to be invited
So, I
into
mean,
this
yeah,
have to buy
conversation.
more jerky, or like, can we get other foods as well?
can we get the entire Mosaic 5 crew to...
Minus
To your makeout
Thaddeus.
corner? What?
Well, I wasn't going to say minus Thaddeus Gibbs, but everyone
You're
minus
still,
Thaddeus.
you're still pressing the cog.
Everyone minus Thaddeus, please report to
To your makeout corner.
the communal space. The
Yeah.
Yeah,
communal-
sure.
the
You can
communal
hear from down the hallway from his bunk, which is, in like literal hearing range. He's just gonna go, I wasn't gonna come anyways.
space. On it too. That's what I said to Gibbs.
As I walk in, I'm probably going to notice how clean it is. and appreciate that Gibbs made an effort.
Sorry, I cannot see
We're
what.
all piling in.
So I'm probably gonna just, very casually
We're
just take
all-
down my
we're all
post-it note.
There you go. Look at that.
Perfect
Like hide it
opportunity
behind
for
your
me
back
to
as you
Yeah,
walk
come and
in.
kill us all.
And on the way out, basically the conversation I had, which is that I would love to send Thaddeus off with a good taste in his mouth about Mosaic 5 Team.
Are you guys shutting the door behind you?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Just as a reminder, probably a good thing to do since he could hear you from there.
The doors make
The
that
door's
sound,
open.
too.
It's
Open
a
the
brand new
doors.
ship. Yeah, it's the rubber gaskets are all fresh.
No detecting thoughts now.
Someone's gotta loosen that.
So,
Yeah, and so I lay it out and essentially say, like, I talked to Shade, and what do you guys think are our options there?
Bubs, suddenly your comm chimes and you have a message from your friend.
Oh,
Guys, do you know my friend Steele, the one I always talk about, how he's like a father figure to me, and he's always helping me do bounty hunting things, and he sent me a message on my comm.
what do you say, Bubs?
Is it a voice message or?
No, just typed.
Okay, so
He basically he'll generally respond the way that you reach out to
Okay.
him. So he types to you. Dorado's a conservatory. Be careful. The one second here. The Oscaraptors, the birds that are conserved there, are massive and dangerous, more like dinosaurs than birds.
Dinosaur planet.
On the subject of Bill Black, minor bounty, corporate theft.
Based.
Maybe we let this guy go.
We just catch birds?
The last line
Sell
is
some birds.
recent contact with Solari military forces. Good luck, Bubs.
Oh, that's a little scary about the birds, but that last part about the military contacts, that wasn't given to us by Peeps. That might
Peeps
be worth.
was a bit frazzled in his defense. You did blow up. We blew
You,
up.
yes.
Your
Us,
direct
we,
report.
together.
He must have had some sort of dealings with the outside the packed worlds.
That maybe be so. We should definitely maybe make that our first lead when we land on the planet or wherever this conservatory is.
Do you think the Solari military forces and the Jacinto are doing some dirty dealing? Jacinto?
Yeah, the Jacinto Corporation.
Almost certainly.
The Jacinto.
So if anybody wants to make a culture check,
Oh, I
can
love
let
culture.
You know
I
what
have
you
a
know about
zero.
Jacinto.
Or actually, I have like a little bit of culture. I'm slightly cultured.
I'm somewhat cultured.
I probably have a good culture, right?
I'm a
I'm
man
a
of
diplomat.
It's, 29.
Ooh.
29.
In this particular instance,
21.
I am more than slightly cultured with a 17.
Okay.
Do I even need to
Yeah,
I
roll?
have a
If-
personal
I don't
hatred
know.
for Jacinto Corporation.
I
You
feel
do.
like as Lashintas we do.
Politics.
So, the thing about Jacinto is a company that really profited off of humanity's race to the stars. They're a galactic giant at this point. They became the leader of all things human and really a representative of humanity in the galaxy. Their upper management is staunchly pro-human, almost entirely exclusively Solari, generally human. The company produces starships, appliances, oxygen generators, filters, electrical generators, a million things. They're like General Electric, essentially. The current leader, the president of the company, is Kenji Jacinto. He's 71.
Kenji, I love that name.
Kenji.
Kenji.
Kenji Jacinto. He was born in 2169. in June, if that matters, to a wealthy post-Second World War Allied League of Nations family. He lived in the Oda ward in a neighborhood called Denon Shofu, which is like a super ultra wealthy district.
On what planet?
That would be on Earth.
The big E.
Of all of the Jacinto siblings, he had 2. He is the only survivor, with his older brother dying in the Unification War, which is when basically the Solari Republic crushed any resistance to the unification of humanity into the United Solari Republic. And then his younger sister dying of cancer. You know that, you said 27?
29.
29.
Yeah. 18.
The Jacinto's family operates off of a large estate that orbits Jupiter. It is called the Villa Among the Halos. His dad, Matteo Jacinto, is the one that really earned them a terrible reputation among the La Junta, sorry. Really relatively anti-alien in general for humans. Matteo in particular was somebody who at the very beginning somewhat like enlightened in their viewpoints, and then after meeting the La Junta immediately took advantage of that relationship. You know, the symbol for Jacinto is an origami-style crane that flies beneath the name of the company. The colors are purple and white, which were chosen, you know a lot about this company, which were chosen because they're Kenji's great-great-great-great-great-grandmother's favorite colors. Additionally, with that role, you know that Jacinto has an entire army, basically, that is Jacinto security. They're not able to utilize military-grade hardware. A less commonly known fact, but for you, there is a group called Shorepoint Private Contractors, and they are owned through a series of companies by Jacinto Corporation and are an actual private army. That is what you know about Jacinto Corporation.
Wow. Okay.
The rest of you know less of that, you know, based on your roles.
We get the cliff notes.
Yeah. But, Vess, you know a lot about Jacinto. So, with all of that, oh, good.
So all of that is well and good, but that does not give us an answer to the
Yeah, we got interrupted.
Thaddeus question.
So what do we want to do about the Farron? If you...
Spice like leans back in her chair and she says, "I don't care what happens to the Farron."
But Kira on the side of...
We could get in real trouble for harboring an enemy of, well, he has big enemies that they become our enemies.
So are you suggesting we kill him?
I simply said we should tread lightly.
I know what it's like to, be in an uncomfortable place where things seem a little bit hopeless and there's not many friendly faces around. And maybe we, can just let him go on a random planet where he doesn't know anyone.
Fake his death.
That sounds great. How about a random planet being a Jacinto? Oh wait, that's a Durando.
Dorada.
Dorado?
Oh.
Yeah.
So we'll take him one planet past Dorada.
Will he become a biologist?
Right, so we take him one
There's nothing
planet
there for
past.
him.
How do
We find the next
It's
way
not
station. And we tie him up before we leave the ship.
Can we
tie him up on a way
cryogenically
station?
freeze him until then? I don't
Tie
want
him
him
up.
running around the
We've
ship.
got shit to do on Dorado.
You want to keep him happy and you're going to tie him up?
No, I don't care. I mean, I want to keep him alive. I don't care if he's happy or not.
But then why did you want to give him one of the statues?
Because sending him off on his own is akin to just like killing him anyways, without resources or.
Which is why I suggested killing him, because that would just save us time and hassle.
That's not mercy, just because it saves us time.
Spice, are
and
you
hassle.
doing this in
Yeah,
the
I'm literally like Spice is like,
So
as each of them talk, is like weighing, like putting her weight into each side of her body.
and
Well,
The kindness doesn't have to cost us anything besides scrounging together something to send him off with.
potentially leaving him to tell other people about the events at Waystation El Paso, which again,
Which he's already said his
You
boss
killed
bought the
his
thing.
boss.
He doesn't know that he doesn't know that.
Also, all of you are kind of finding this out now because
Oh.
you're gathered around this conversation.
Can't
She's
we,
just
like,
listening.
can't we find out if there's a bounty on him as well? There must be something.
You remember posted in the original bounty 50 credits, I believe, for each associate of the Cygnus
he's worth
Bandit.
50 credits.
So is a round of beers.
Except that if we
Call it a day.
turn him over to the authorities, he does know that you were all, and again, myself included, because I am a member of this crew, he knows that you and maybe you were involved in killing his boss and friends.
I was
And
involved in
allies.
bounty hunting. It's not the most respected profession, but it's dead or alive is a thing.
Yes.
Waystation El Paso is a stand your ground state. Everyone knows that. We were well within our rights.
So, what is the ruling for killing him now? Because I do think that turning him in would end up poorly for us, even with the 50 credits, because then the authorities have a witness to major crimes that were committed.
Yeah, but we didn't
But that's
commit
so
those
sad.
crimes.
We just couldn't have killed the little bugger. That
That's-
just doesn't sound right.
Were you aware?
Whoa. We're all bounty hunters here. If we're gonna turn him in, let's just turn him in for money. Let's keep him alive and turn him in.
Well, we would keep him alive in this situation because the bounty was alive, not dead or alive, which you had alluded to.
Well, the original bounty, it was we had a certain amount credits that we would get if the Cygnus Bandit was alive, and then we had a certain amount of credits that was significantly less if he was dead.
So
Associates
technically,
dead or alive, 50 credits.
technically it
Right.
was dead or alive.
So
Just the associates.
Oh.
Yeah.
The associates. So we could kill him and then turn him in and get 50 credits at the very least. At this point, if we kept him alive, he would be a loose thread.
we could keep him alive with the gratitude that we're not turning him in, and have an ally out in the universe and keep in contact and pen pal.
The probability of that coming back to bite us on the ass is higher than if we just killed him.
It's higher than 0, yeah, but who knows how much higher it is.
It's probably about 11.56%.
11%?
It's
You hear from the door this clang clang, and then the door, and you can see the Farron right there, and he goes, "All right, you guys haven't. It's been 4 days, and you guys haven't been in a room together for this long. What's happening?"
We're trying to decide if we should kill you or not. I'm on
That
the
is, in
I'm on
fact,
the-
what we were
the side
discussing.
of not killing you.
Makes a sense motive real quick, and he goes, "So look, guys, I know, right? You're bounty hunters or something. Maybe we can figure something out, okay? I don't want to die, and you guys don't want to just kill, just some guy. I'm
Right.
just a guy. I'm Thaddeus, you know.
Well,
So,
you are worth 50 credits.
But you
You're
might be
gonna-
worth more to us if you can be worth more than that.
Yeah, I'm basically just like a mercenary. So what do you got? You guys are bounty hunters, right? You need help? Need a hired gun?
Yeah.
Well, I left my gun on the station, but if you can give me a gun, I could be a hired gun.
He could watch our ship.
You're not. Whoa! You're fighting for your life. We are not paying you shit. You are fight. You are. Your payment is staying alive.
Yeah, okay.
At this
For
Okay.
point,
now,
all
yeah.
right.
Could
I
I
don't want to give him a
sense
gun.
motive
Yeah,
when
go
he
ahead, make a
says
sense
that? I don't have the best sense motive, but
Yeah, go
I
for it.
just-
Why not? But try it. Yeah.
18 plus
18?
0.
Damn, we
Oh, plus 2.
Starfinder numbers are
30,
very
20.
high.
You're way higher than 5e for
They're
sure.
so
yeah,
weird, too,
yeah,
like,
it is a big change.
it's the same but different.
Yeah.
So,
So the sense motive, as you look at him, he begins to sweat a little bit. You see the yellow skin glistening, the squat figure kind of getting even smaller. He has no real reason to lie about this. He's certainly a mercenary. he doesn't want to die. He'll definitely work for you guys temporarily. Probably the first chance that he gets, he's gonna book it, but he's not gonna like harm you. You
Okay.
hear Gibbs say he could watch the ship. That may not be a great idea, because he probably will book it, but he's not actively looking to hurt you. At least not at the moment.
I say, I've seen those eyes before. That deer in the headlight look where someone's doesn't know what to do. Because I've had that kind of look on my face before. I don't know how far we could trust this guy, but maybe not to join us, but maybe some kind of middle ground, guys. I mean,
We're going to like Dorado, right?
That is our current
Yeah.
What are we doing?
trajectory.
Where are we going? What are we fighting? We getting a guy?
It's a suburban.
XX
suburban-
Taco Black XX.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
That is his game tag.
Okay. I was gonna say that's like maybe an alien name or something, but okay. Dorado's like a jungle planet. I don't know a ton about it, but if you're going for like a bounty there, I could help. And then maybe, you guys like let me off somewhere else. That's not a jungle.
Kind of seems like a two against one.
Yeah,
over here.
I'm on his side.
I'm gonna also vote with Gibson Spice.
I get the sense I don't have a vote, but if I do, I'm gonna vote with.
No, you don't have a vote. Sit down.
Okay. He just sits down.
Good.
Vesk. Vote.
He can stay. What's he gonna do? You told the jerky.
Well, my vote doesn't matter, and I do not care anyway. So
Well, it cost you a favor then.
I did not.
You owe her a favor
No, he doesn't owe me shit. I just don't owe him shit.
Okay.
Well, again, we are crewmates,
No
so
hard
we should.
feelings.
Okay,
I
I'm
was
having
the
trouble
one that
How
tracking.
are
suggested
you?
we
Everything's
brought it to
good.
a vote.
Yeah,
Right?
we're dropping
You
you
get
off
to live.
after
Yes.
Dorado, but don't screw us over, and we're gonna tie you up while we're at Dorado.
Do you have to tie me up?
That was not
Does the
something.
car
Well,
keys-
bounty hunters. What
Could I
were we
just
supposed to
go
do?
with you?
Oh, yeah,
No, he's gonna fight with us.
You guys, do you know anything about Dorado?
it's a bird.
No.
Yeah, these birds have like 120-foot wingspan. Like these are not like birds. These are huge, and I don't want to just stay by myself on a ship that I assume all of you are going to disable.
Of course we would have
Most assuredly,
disabled the
yes.
ship.
I
Of
would have
course.
done
Yes,
that. I
of
would
course.
have 100% done that.
So
You
I
read
don't
that.
want to be alone.
I don't want to be alone either.
Well, maybe you shouldn't have been a bandit.
Well, maybe people shouldn't have killed my boss and associates.
His head just exploded. It must have been that thing that he bought.
Yeah, I mean that thing was pretty crazy.
Right. The nanos must have just gotten under his skin and started eating away, and it just.
It
You can see he like
seems-
starts like scratching a little bit. It's like,
It seems as if we have reached an impasse here
Impasse. No, we reached a conclusion.
on whether or not to
He's gonna
tie
come
him
with
up.
us.
Okay, then he's coming with us.
Yes, he's coming with us. Onward and upward
And
into the
we
sky.
still have 2 more days
One more
until
day.
we arrive.
One more day.
One more day until we arrive. So, actually, we should probably, now that we are all in the same room, discuss a plan for this next bounty so that we can actually succeed and not have to find other employment.
I say
Or
first off we find
Also
an
upset
outfitter.
Pete. He would
An
be very
outfitter?
disappointed.
Like a wardrobe?
We'll need supplies.
With what credits?
He's,
There's no.
he pipes up again. No, I don't think you guys really know anything about this place. Clearly, it's
It
a
is a jungle
conservatory
planet.
It's a conservatory, so nobody can live there, nobody can settle there. You're able to go, usually there's like an autonomous satellite or something like that, or a ship or somebody, maybe there's a carekeeper, but, there's not a settlement or an outfit
Are there?
there.
There's no buildings or anything?
I mean, there might be 1 or 2 left over
Pete
from when
said
there was
we
a
could
tent,
destroy
but-
all the trees we wanted.
But not the birds, and the birds are
No.
scary. So there's stealth, right?
So we should
Would
first locate our target.
Can we do that from the ship? Do we know where to land our ship?
Do we have some sort of sensor
You do have
tracking
sensors, yeah,
sensors?
so you would have seen
for-
that you had sensors.
Do we have any way of of finding a humanoid?
Yeah, you
on
could
this
fly
planet?
overhead and try to
And
ping
just
it.
like-
You could
oh.
try to find the way that he got here. Yeah, there's lots of different strategies you could use.
I'm going to make with my background. I have a bounty hunter background.
Yep.
So I can make someone my target,
Mhm.
giving me a -5 to the DC check.
Yep.
For any roles involving bounty hunting, which is my profession.
Yep.
I'm going to do that.
Okay.
And I'm going to also try to make a roll while I'm on my little comm
Okay.
thing to look up to see if there's been any previous settlements there. Maybe he's hanging out there. Maybe there's like a launch pad that they've used before. Anything on the internet that I can find about that.
Sure. Yeah, make a check.
17 plus.
Bubs is like Google searching, hey Siri.
It'll be a culture check. Yeah, I mean, the other thing is, you know what? Without too much trouble, you can take 20 and do this because you're on a ship. You have a lot of time.
Okay.
Got, like,
Taking the time to basically Google that, you discover that based on a treaty that was signed in 2234, there has been no settlement. There have been, people have gone there for very, very exotic, before it was banned, hunting. There have been people who have initially tried to settle. The birds are massive, and they're attracted to shiny things, and so, in general, settlement
Shiny
attempts met with failure. No real established structures. That being said, your search does come up with the fact that there is a little satellite that kind of should be there, and it will register transponders when they go in to the system.
Do we have a transponder?
Not.
We do not have a transponder.
Shit.
Oh.
So, Shade, what are the scanners like for the ship?
You have them on your.
They're in the.
I gave you this so that I
Okay.
didn't have to keep track.
Cool. Let me just pull up.
Of it. Okay. So
Pulling up
as
scanners.
Jade pulls the scanners up with
So
his
we
mind.
have a Mark 1 defense system and Mark 5 hull armor.
You know, those scanners.
What does that have to do with scanning?
Yeah,
We do not have.
There's no scanners.
We have systems
Hull.
advanced short range sensor, if that's what you mean by
So
scanner.
can't we do a flyby?
Yeah.
Yes, we can.
So is that a piloting check or perception?
So that would be. It would be a perception check if you're gonna try to.
Probably from the pilot or
Or is
the
it
captain.
So you have your
What?
scanner. If you could man the systems as.
As a science officer. I
Science
mean
officer,
as
target
the
system.
scanner.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Okay.
you can do that.
That's me. Hi.
Now you guys are not at the planet yet.
that
So you
senses
certainly can.
other
Okay.
sensors, but
So
that's
I
closest.
familiarize myself with.
Okay. So yeah, you take some time, go to engineering, and
It's
begin to
fine.
check out the
I can share one.
sensors,
This table is small.
learn the controls of them. They'll be able to do like a short range flyby kind of thing. Make a computers check, Vess, as you think about this.
That's 22.
So if there is a satellite there, your mind kind of clocks after a second what Bub said, and it does ping transponders, and this guy presumably arrived in a ship, you could probably hack into the satellite and figure out where that ship went. At least chart the course.
I have to go to the bathroom.
We're gonna go to break in a second.
But like once we get out of the drift.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, all right then.
All right.
So that's our plan.
With one quick question though,
Sure.
by not having a transponder on a satellite, and I guess I'll ask the computer guy, will it ping authorities about our unregistered car? Because we don't have a transponder?
Well,
This seems really
as
problematic.
Thaddeus said before, there is a device within the ship that allows us to simulate.
Have you turned it on? Have you tried it out?
It's not a device. It's a program that I can run. But if you guys are interested, yeah, I absolutely can. I just need a
Perhaps-
fake name.
Vess, you should look at the program.
Fake
Fake name? What should our fake name be?
For the ship.
Yeah. Kiri.
We'll think about it.
Nasane.
So all of you
Kiri
think about it because it
Anasane.
is at this moment 8:08. We're going to jump to a break real quick. We're going to step away for about 10 minutes. So it is 8:08. We're going to come back at 8:20. So we'll see you then. Thanks for hanging out. folks, and welcome back to Mosaic Team 5.
Is this
Thank
you?
you for sticking with us through the break.
I wish.
If you have been watching, you know full well we have been traveling through the drift and having many conversations and figuring out what to do with our Farron friend Thaddeus. But as it seems that he will be allowed to survive, we are going to return. Moment here. Okay, so remind me where we left off.
The Theron had agreed to activate the transpondery thing.
He was gonna
because
tell
we're
us,
gonna not
yeah.
kill him.
So, anyways, I need a name.
Oh, a name.
I'm sure that you guys,
Siri Makagaku.
what was that?
Was
I'm
that
just saying cat names now.
I like it.
I mean,
Kiri Makagaku.
Kiri.
Kiri Makagaku.
Is that common?
Yeah. Yes.
Well, okay, but people are gonna like ask questions about that. You know, it's like when you get a tattoo on your arm, and then you, for the rest of your life, have to like explain that to people.
Well, just to be clear, I can change this anytime. It's like not.
We can say
legitimate.
Makagaku for now.
Okay.
just type something in?
Goes in, types that in.
Just rolls his face on the keyboard. Is like.
Shade, you hear a ping from the cockpit. Would imagine that change went through.
Okay.
So, anything that you guys want to do before you drop out of drift space a day later?
We should come up with perhaps a more well thought out plan for what happens when we do find our target bounty.
So do we want to get the target bounty, or do we want to sell some exotic birds? Are we trying to trap birds, or are we trying to trap bounty?
No, we're supposed to get.
No,
his
you're not
project.
trapping these birds. The birds are the size of the ship.
We are
We're not
getting
Right.
Was it the
Project Cuttlefish.
yes,
Peter
Project Cuttlefish.
Iguanga.
It's a prototype.
The prototype
Starship.
Oh,
hull
right.
application.
Yes,
the
that's
whole
what we're.
application.
Yes.
And that looks like what, like a VHS or?
What does yeah?
I'm guessing
No,
it's
where would this
probably
be?
like a Would it just be like a hard drive type situation, or is it an actual hull?
You have no idea. That was not
Oh.
information that you were given, and you didn't ask. It's.
If I heard hull enhancement or hull application, with my
typically
understanding of
speaking,
ships,
a hull
would that be-
application is something that's used to treat the outside. And so
Okay.
you would imagine maybe
Oh,
like
it
a
could be like a
paint, it could be
spray-on
like
or
a
something.
probably something of that
Okay.
nature.
Okay,
Okay.
so I would tell everyone.
So that's what we're trying to get.
Most likely, we will be looking for some sort of spray
Would that
on.
be in a settlement, but of no settlements?
I would imagine that given where we are looking for him, it will be on his person.
Yeah, maybe this is like a rendezvous with the Solari.
You see the Farron raise like the thick yellow fingered hands, and he goes,
Baron.
"Just what are we doing?
We are hunting
A bounty?
a bounty.
Fantastic.
I forget his name.
Okay, so we're gonna get this bounty. Are we gonna get this? What are we?
We're hunting Kenji Dastani.
Nope, we're hunting Peter
hunting-
Iguana.
What? Who is
Kenji
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 Jacinto
Jacinto
is
is
a part of the
CEO.
Jacinto Corporation. Please
Right.
keep your
All right.
stats together.
We're hunting Peter Agundo. Peter Agundo.
Iguana.
Iguango.
I'm trying to.
Iguana, right?
All right. I'm really
Yes.
curious though about this application. What is this?
You don't. It
It's
will
a-
look like spray paint can, most likely. Something similar
Okay.
size or shape.
So we're after a guy and then a spray paint can.
Not specifically a spray paint can, but most likely a spray-on application to the hull, which
Okay.
would come in an aerosol-like form.
Okay, so I can keep an eye out for that. That's not a problem.
And the matter of dead or alive.
Ah, we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
Wait, I'm living, right?
No,
Not
you.
you.
The
Peter.
bounty,
Okay.
for now.
Yeah. Okay.
What's the deal with this bounty? I forget the money's on
I don't
It's
know.
10,000
Dead-
credits.
dead
For the
or
technology?
alive, right?
Just for the technology, right?
For the
So you would remember
technology,
the technology is 10,000 credits,
he was 100 credits, dead or alive, right?
200.
200. Okay, so dead or alive doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Okay.
his life means nothing to me.
Right.
So, should we attempt to apprehend him alive, or just go
Only,
straight
well, we need to
for
find
dead?
the prototype. That's
Right.
what we're really here for.
I
so-
feel like as long as we can find the prototype, it doesn't really matter.
Right. Because that's
So
chump
we
change.
should keep him alive until we have possession of the prototype.
Mm. Yes.
So we should not kill him.
Okay.
Dolan, what are you looking at?
I'm looking
Yeah,
particularly
Thaddeus also
I'm
looks
like-
straight at you.
straight at Gibbs like,
The ears sort of twitch.
You can see Thaddeus flinches for a second.
It's fine.
until we get the information or the prototype from him, we do not kill him. After that, whichever makes the rest of our mission easier.
Great. We're just on a sightseeing tour of Birdtopia.
How do we? Is there
These birds
anything
are
we know
quite
about these
large.
birds? Can I do like a?
I'll do a life sciences check.
Sure.
Or physical life.
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 It's a bird. It's life.
Life.
Finds a way.
check.
Life.
Beautiful life.
It's a 1.
No, damn it,
So
Max.
12.
Well, you think about what you know about birds in general, and they're small feathered things. Like it really,
How could
They're-
a bird be that big?
yeah.
I just don't get it.
Damn it.
It's probably pretty weird.
How did
Damn
they
it!
stay up there in the sky?
Take your turkey and you put the
Mathematically, it
duck
shouldn't
in the turkey and you get yourself a turducken.
So, yeah, you don't know much
Okay.
about it.
Damn it.
But we're gonna go to the satellite, hack the satellite, find out where he parked his ship, start there, conveniently land
Bing
next to
bang
him.
boom, and we got
But
some
before we
credits.
hack into the satellite, we have very important business.
Oh.
We need a fake ship name.
I thought we
It's
had
Kakigaku.
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 Kakigagamore.
Siri
So-
Kakigaku. It's
why
not
don't
that hard.
It's
Kakigaku.
Kakigaku.
Why don't we get one
Kakigaku.
successful
I-
bounty under our belt, and then we can rename the ship? It can be a reward for
Maybe
one
like a
success.
callback to a fun event from
Yeah.
a bounty. We could have adventures.
But we need at
You
least
mean
one
Waystation
fun
El Paso?
event from a
Right,
bounty, and we have
okay, well.
no fun events from a bounty so far.
I had a pretty
So I
okay-
really hate to ask
We-
this, but like I know Mosaic Corporation. It's like a bounty hunting management firm. Are you guys bad bounty hunters? Is that what I'm
No, we're the
hearing here?
best. So I'm gonna
Well,
try to do my persuasion check
As
right
you
now.
saw,
Check.
Bluff, yeah.
the entire way station was blown up. So
On purpose.
We're more talented amateurs.
Oh boy.
good
All
way to
right.
put it.
Well, I would say probably don't worry so much about the ship name. Let's try to just survive
That's what I'm saying.
this.
Yeah.
Because I don't. My confidence has gone down a little bit. I'm gonna level with you guys. A little nervous now.
This is out of character.
Sure.
How does signals and like information travel to? Is this one satellite providing like all the internet access to this one conservatory planet? or
That
is
you
it-
don't know.
Okay.
as far as we know, this is an
MP3.
uninhabited planet. We don't know if it has internet.
Okay. So, I'm guessing maybe if this satellite is the only means of contact, besides obviously like Bluetooth, which is like person to person, maybe if we get there before, this Kenji DeSanto's
Jacinto.
company, maybe we could, you may not know what they look like when they're meeting him. We don't know.
Didn't they hired us? We have an exclusive contract with them. It's the Solari government that you found out about that we're worried about. But what it sounds like is that Peter is the middleman of selling this technology.
To
Maybe-
the highest bidder.
Right,
presumably
maybe
the
he stole it
Solari
from
government.
DeSanto, so they want it back. But
Yes.
he's reached out to the Solari government, come to some uninhabited island to try and find. And we just hope we haven't missed it, because we got this bounty 6 days ago, right? And we've been
That is
traveling for
true.
6 days, so like we could
Hopefully
get
we
there
did
and
not miss it.
literally he could be gone, and we're fighting.
Yes.
I'm just saying, it's been 6 days.
All right, Captain, let's go. Let's do it.
It's not my fault. I'm not the one driving the ship so slow.
I was under the impression that you were the captain.
Well, that was Olive speaking, not.
Should
Spice
I-
would never admit that she's not captain. Literally never.
So, is there anything else that you guys would like to plan prior to dropping out of the drift?
Nope. Think that's probably as good a plan as we're gonna
Let's
get.
suit up. I mean, I feel like maybe we should suit up for this team.
So you you guys start shooting in the middle of the ship.
Yes, it's
All right.
everyone just
I just sit on like rests. Like,
So everybody can reload everything. Everybody can make sure that their health is back up. We've taken long rests. So, as you live out your wildest fantasies of being a cowboy,
That's the group tradition. Before we start our next mission,
you just shoot up the ship.
Shoot the ceiling.
Fucker directly into the ceiling. You go, yeehaw!
This is why Peep really doesn't like you guys. So,
It's 'cause we don't let
Yeah.
him join.
as you watch,
He's like,
you
"I
watch
wish I
the
could join."
scanners.
Click
Shade,
seals.
you see the drift beacon appear as you
Alright.
kind of come through one of these clouds of strange fog, and all of a sudden,
Smooth,
as
smoky
you-
jazz music.
as you take this thing and kind of shove it forward, as this is now the control, all of a sudden the darkness shifts, and it's as if the lights fold out from having been folded in half, and suddenly taking up most of the front viewport, you see a huge, slowly rotating planet, verdant, green, and rich. This is probably close to 2.5 times the size of Earth. Teegarden B is huge. It is like a jewel in the darkness of space beyond. There is a small satellite off to your starboard side with a garish green and red light up sign that blinks like a Christmas lights. And it reads in Galactic Common, Teegarden B, Ulscaraptor Conservatory Zone. Poachers subject to 1,000 credit fine, possible transit seizure per the USR Charter. There's a holograph of a friendly-looking parrot-like bird, though the beak is more pterodactyl-like than parrot. Just kind of like with a feather as a thumbs up.
Cute.
What are you guys doing?
Take like a calm link selfie with the bird.
Okay. Turn your comlink selfie around. You get up to the viewport.
As
And
you're
I
about to do
forward it
that,
to
I'm sending a
Pete.
message to everyone.
Interrupts the message.
Ignore, text Peep,
Okay.
and go up to the cockpit while you are sending whatever you're saying.
Fantastic. So you go over, you send this message, beep, goes off and into the ether.
We have just arrived in orbit of Teegarden B. 8 B B.
B.
You say that in your
That's
most.
yeah, to the
That's like the
over the intercom.
Yeah, the-
yeah.
Ding dong.
Ding
Please,
dong.
yeah, please.
This is your
exit.
captain speaking.
Yes.
You've arrived in orbit at Teegarden B.
Please
The
fasten
local
all
time is...
seatbelts.
So, all of you hear this over the comm. What are you doing?
I'm gonna fly us in so I can get close enough to start running scans over
Okay.
the presumably large, jungly
How close
forest
you to be
area.
to hack the satellite?
I
Probably
think the
pretty close.
range
Right,
is
so before
pretty
we-
close.
Zoom down. Satellite.
Oh
first.
yeah, satellite. Where's the?
Satellite.
Oh, the satellite
That's
is
off
that.
to the right
Yes.
side.
That's-
That's
The
the,
thing that I
satellite.
can-
Oh, I
Ah,
was
thumbs up
thinking like
satellite.
that is
Yeah.
a different satellite.
Nope.
I was like,
they got
oh,
one. Yeah.
I was like,
It's
oh, I'm looking
multipurpose.
for like a big surface antenna thing.
Okay.
You like look around the satellite. You're like, I don't see it.
Oh, it's that giant bird thing
Yeah.
giving a thumbs up. Cool. Okay, I'm gonna like get within range of
Sure.
that.
You kind of pull by and get right alongside it.
Okay.
Vess.
All right, computers check for countermeasures.
Sure,
in
go
the,
for
satellite.
It is 24.
24.
Jeez.
This is a really simplistic system. It's mostly like an advertisement. You do know there is something that takes transponders. There are no countermeasures. And even with that roll, like very quickly, it's insecure because there is no real data on it.
Yeah.
So you full access right away. You imagine you probably have root access for what it's worth.
All right, so with the access, I'm just gonna look for a log of all the ships and the times,
No problem.
directions.
You pull up this kind of database, fairly small, and the dates very widely scattered apart. This is not commonly visited. The most recent one arrived about 8 days ago. It's a small shuttle, and you chart the course and are able to find that it does land in a small clearing in something called the Northern Baravi Forest.
Inputting coordinates.
Well done. So, no problem. You put in those coordinates, you copy that. over and into the computer, and slowly your ship just kind of lists off to the side and begins approaching.
Do we have an E ETA?
An ETA, probably about 15 minutes, just not very far.
Okay.
I put on an environmental suit.
Okay.
Oh,
We will be
Is that a
approaching
question?
in 15
no,
minutes.
that's what I'm doing.
Yeah, I'm gonna
It feels
15
appropriate
minutes.
for a
Put on
planet
that
like
as well.
this.
Until disembarkment. Well, until we start searching.
The Farron's gonna come out and go, so, like, do I get a weapon? Like a pipe or something?
I will give you something
Thank you, Gibbs.
because we're friends and you gave me food. I will give you my acid dart rifle.
Oh.
It's a really nice weapon, but
Wow,
it's a
okay.
little greasy,
Yeah.
obviously.
Yeah.
And I give him 4 bullets.
Okay.
And I say,
The fact that you counted.
I give him 4 bullets.
Okay.
You better hope
Spice
he doesn't
like
find a
look.
5th bullet.
He takes it, he has to, like, really adjust the strap and kind
Yeah.
of get it on his little stout arms. Thank you, Gibbs.
From what we know of the ship, of like the Solarian military,
Sure, Solari military.
do they make their own ships?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, they contract a million different factories to do different parts for it, but yeah, they have their own shipyards.
Okay. I want to do like a check to see if maybe there's a certain type of fuel or chemical signature
Okay.
that comes from those specific ships.
Not a specific signature. Different drives give off different signatures, and so there is a line of drives, but it's pretty commonly used for Solari ships. It was borrowed from the Shunta, so it's widely used in the GPF territory. It would be hard to find an individual vehicle based off a drive signature.
But it would be a recent one, and if I'm guessing there's not many people in the area, so maybe I should keep that on my hat.
Yeah, you can just kind of keep it in your hat and just kind of passively look for it if you want. No problem.
Okay.
Okay. So, you all approach this site. And as you do, as you draw within maybe like a minute or two of it, suddenly something blips, a little transponder from the ship.
Fuck.
You get closer and closer, and you see a pretty large disturbance in an otherwise pristine forest. The trees here, for what it's worth, rise up almost 300 feet, resembling in ways redwood trees. However, the structure of the trunks much darker brown, and the leaves semi-translucent. And so in the areas where these trees have been blown over, you can actually see underneath this beautiful stained glass kind of shimmering green light that dances across the ground.
Is that natural? Is that a part of the forest?
You haven't been here before.
Okay, all right.
A large number of the trees have been plowed over. You see about a 350-foot, or about 300-foot stretch of burned, charred ground and wood. And then you see off in the distance a wrecked ship partially embedded into the ground.
A wrecked ship.
Seems so.
Well, I think we found him. I'm gonna go ahead and take her down
Okay.
within range so we can do a scouting party and check out their.
So how close are you
ruins.
landing near it?
Well, taking into account that like there could be something broken on the ship that would explode
Sure.
and
Farron?
cause some catastrophic
Thanks.
damage, I'm gonna stay like within a safe enough distance away for any like typical failure for a crash like this.
Okay.
But not so far that it's like, all right, we're hiking for a day to get to the crash that we just saw.
So landing on the other end of the that like 300-foot
Yeah.
stretch seems to make sense.
Yeah, so I'd probably take her down right in that
Sure.
start of the clearing.
You take it down very gently and kind of right onto the beginning where the trees have been kind of wrecked around from the ship coming in. And you can see through the viewport this kind of ship dug in, wreckage twisted and pulled. You can see light coming from the cockpit, so still powered, but badly damaged for sure.
Can
Well.
you guys like scan for life? Can you like scan for living bodies?
I think I can
Our
only
heartbeats or
scan
something?
for like a ship. Is that true?
For you, yeah.
Yeah, it's less.
Well, for the ship to.
And I can only scan for living creatures within 80. That's not 80 feet yet. That's
Less than 80
30
feet.
it's
Less
like 50 feet.
Yeah,
or
something like that. So you guys could do that from closer, yeah?
That feels important.
Should we prepare to disembark?
Yes.
30 feet, actually.
Yeah. I asked the Siri of the
Wait.
ship to like
Siri,
tell me the local weather and time and like the oxygen
I think
quality
I'm the Siri
and
of
like
the ship.
what?
I think I'm the Siri of the ship.
Well, like, I assume there's a button I'm allowed to press in the kitchen or something.
It's not a Siri. So there are VI cores that you can get for your ship. This one does not have one.
a VI.
I am
Artificial
the
intelligence
VI.
doesn't
Oh.
exist yet. You know, there are
You like
androids.
plug it into your heart and you're like, hi,
The
the ship.
weather outside today is sunny.
But
Hi,
you can pull up a
84.
readout of like a scan of what's happening outside for sure.
I go to the dot matrix printer and ask it to print out the weather. Yeah.
So the computer pulls up a little readout, and you can see it's about 10:30 in the morning. Beautiful weather. There is breathable oxygen for all of you.
Oh.
This is a terrestrial world. A little bit higher content in argon, but not something that's like noticeable in any way. Beautiful, beautiful out.
Great.
Excuse me.
I'm gonna just.
Wait,
I'm ready to
Wait,
disembark.
before we go, if it's quite all right, I'd like to attune to each one of you. So in the Starfinder biohacker class, you can attune to a creature, meaning that your injection weapons basically automatically find them. So I don't need to roll to hit to
Like
range
seeking-
inject you with a
Okay.
booster.
Oh.
I would still need to roll to hit for an inhibitor.
What do you need to do to us to attune to us?
It's a little bit different for you. And I just reach up and pop a little tab into the back of Thaddeus's neck.
He just kind of he reaches back. Is this gonna stay on or?
It's not a tab. It was like I stabbed him with a little thumbtack.
Gotcha.
And
Like one of those.
now I look over and I
little
say,
compressor things.
we know your every move. You can't hide from us now, and if you cross us, pop.
What the fuck? I thought we were friends. Looks at you, good.
We are
Hey,
friends.
hey.
Why, if
I don't
if
have one
you're
of
our
those.
friend, then you're not gonna hurt us.
Yeah, but by the same virtue, you put a bomb in my head.
Okay, let's hit the road,
No, wait, hold on.
everybody.
Let's resolve that.
I would like to hit the road as well.
Okay.
We should start.
Thaddeus.
Oh, good.
I'm sorry. Can I take it out? Can you undo it?
Yeah, but it'll blow up his face.
What? I really don't want my face blown up either. So like,
If he has nothing to hide, then he shouldn't be worried about having the tracker.
I'm not worried about the tracker. I'm worried about the bomb. To be very clear, I don't want that to happen.
Well, then you'll be fine.
Well, then help us succeed in this
Help us
mission.
succeed. And
Make an intimidation check.
I think it should be more like a bluff check because of
I'm gonna say that this is intimidating since you're threatening to blow up
trying
his
to blow
head.
up his head.
Yeah.
Blowing up a head is pretty intimidating.
It is 5.
Oh.
All right, let's just do this.
But do you actually need to attune to everyone else, or?
Getting my pistol out,
Sure.
Yeah.
ready
I just
to
need to-
ready to
Everyone needs
engage.
to be okay with
Okay.
it. It needs to be a consensual.
Wait. In
Oh.
order for that to happen, I need to.
consent.
I need to attune to you too.
Everybody signs the form.
Yeah.
Vesk.
It's
We're all sliding. We're sliding.
It just takes 10 minutes.
Each.
I hope that that's how the ship actually does
Yes.
it. Where it's like, all right.
So
dump
we'll
it
say
out.
you
We
guys
go,
kind of did that on the
"Whee!"
approach.
But during the time that you are attuning to me, you have to hold my hand.
Only if you do that spell again where you make your paws nice and clean.
No, because I can't attune to you then. It's a dual attunement.
Oh, alright, Very well.
And if anything, the dirt grows onto your hands over the course of 10 minutes.
The reason I waited is that attunement only lasts 24 hours. So
Gotcha. Either way, it's just on approach,
Anyway,
just
so
to make the timing work.
we did it,
We're attuned 2 now, you and I.
and I get 4 people. So
Does that mean you guys are in love now?
So it's the
No.
4 of them, and you're not attuned to Thaddeus.
You
so
put a thumbtack in his
Yeah, you basically just
spine.
stabbed him. For no
I just
reason.
stabbed him.
He doesn't know that. So, okay, no problem. Ooh,
bloody hell.
Luckily, we're not using that right now. We'll have to figure out a way to secure that camera a little better, though.
I like
So-
the duct tape option you had earlier.
Thank you.
Well, we have the gaff.
Yeah, that's true.
Real-
So you guys approach
The real hero of
this
the
wreckage.
situation.
The ramp goes down. And you guys begin your approach. Give me 1 minute. Let me change the music up a little.
Now, could you just tell me, Joe, real quick, what is the season for these trees? Are the leaves shedding on the ground, or are they in the mostly still on?
Make a life sciences check. You
Okay.
get out and kind of look at these trees. They're not like trees you've seen prior.
1 plus
1?
0.
You guys are killing it.
Wow.
Probably
Wow.
like you have no idea.
Peach
Tree.
is gonna be so.
So you can do that.
pissed.
Can I look for like a seed
Plastic.
pod, like the way it propagates?
Make a life science
We're
check
rolling.
or a.
Really good at the beginning.
What's my life science? Oh, it's
Oh.
good. 13.
13. You look, and the canopy of this place is 300 feet up.
Right.
There aren't a lot of branches near the bottom, so no pods. But you would imagine if they do exist, whatever reproductive method this thing uses, probably up towards the canopy. You also notice in doing this canopy forms like a very strong kind of top here. You'd imagine it would be difficult for birds to track you from overhead as long as you're beneath the trees.
Oh, so both ways then, two probably, if they're ground birds. I would assume so.
Yes, the natural predator of the
Ostriches.
Isoki.
Imagine, yeah, like 100-foot tall ostrich. Jeez,
That would be
terrifying.
fucking scary.
So, you guys approach.
Making
do
our
all.
way
Downtown.
to the wreckage.
Sure.
I'm like
As you get closer,
looking out for signs of life. All that.
Our weapons drawn.
Yeah, weapon drawn.
you can
ready
see
to fire at.
closer to this this crash site where it hit and then slid about 25 feet, creating a mound of earth and debris over the first half of this very tiny shuttle. There are embers still flickering here and there, and you can see the main section of the shuttle has disintegrated up to the cockpit. You can see the pilot's chair, and in it, a crisp, human-looking figure.
Ah, fuck.
Beyond that, still active, you see a console set to scanning equipment. Still functional, though flickering slightly. You see within the little hallway leading up to the cockpit, kind of mangled, right in the middle of the crash, you'd have to enter to access it, but a crate with a painted-on origami crane.
I'm gonna make sure that it's safe before attempting to enter.
How are you doing that?
Well, it's like disintegrated, right?
Yeah. Parts of it.
Is it disintegrated enough that I can like make my way to the pilot seat to check the
Make a
body and then
perception
go
check.
grab
But yeah,
the
you can
crate?
you can certainly you can. It's a little. You have to wedge yourself in and go through like the wreckage, but you could certainly do that.
That was perception?
Yeah.
Let me see. It's, I believe it is 23.
A 23. Okay. With a 23, you look through and you kind of pick out this path. You don't notice any like traps. You don't notice anything like immediately descent. Like, given the crash, anything that was going to fall or collapse probably already did.
Okay.
And so, as long as
structurally-
you're not like wrecking things in here, it should be
Okay.
relatively safe.
Okay. I'm gonna like go in, investigate the body, try to at least find a way to identify it as our target,
Sure.
and then point out that we've probably found the crate probably has the hull application. So I'm gonna someone check that crate, and then I'm gonna plug into the ship to
Oh, it's me. I should do a
hack
perception
in
check.
for to see what the data logs are and the location that he just sent.
So you're
And
going to hack into the ship?
And yeah, I'm gonna start with
So make a computer's check to look for any kind of countermeasures.
Yeah.
As you're doing that, so you said a whole bunch of things here.
Yeah.
So the first thing that you're doing is you're going to make a medicine check for the body.
Okay.
As Shade is doing that, is anybody else doing it?
I'm gonna go with him to the
Ooh,
body.
okay.
So I will follow in his footsteps, and seeing that he's picked the path pretty
This is the
quickly
good
and like carefully, I'm
Yeah.
gonna do that thing where you like match footprints.
Sure, no problem. You kind of take the steps when Shade has to like sit and slide. You kind of sit and slide underneath something. You guys make it through, no problem.
That was a 21.
21.
Big
You
rolls.
get close to this crisp, charred figure, still kind of adhered to the seat. The first thing that you notice that's wrong, there is nothing else charred around the seat, just this body.
Hmm.
And as you get closer to it and kind of poke at it, it's certainly clothing wrapped around a form, not a body.
What?
This isn't the body.
This was a
Wait,
setup!
let me finish.
Whoever was
I did.
whoever was in the shuttle set it up to look like they perished, but
Wait,
they
so it's not
are-
actually a body?
No. And so as
Most
you say
likely.
that, Shade kind of pulls away a piece of the clothing, and as it crumbles, you see like dried rations. You see things stuck together to be the shape of a humanoid. Not a humanoid.
Then I'm gonna plug into
Make
the
a
ship
perception check if you're looking around for danger.
and try to figure out if there's any information about where this person might have gone
Make a computer
when
check to
they've
look for
sort of
countermeasures.
I'm gonna pick all the rations and put them into various pockets of my cargo vest.
Okay.
The dead body rations, obviously.
Yes. No, I figured.
Yeah.
Go ahead and make a. This is a perception check, just as you, or sleight of hand check.
Great.
As you dig through.
16.
16. With a 16, you can add 6 rations, kind of charred and not the best condition, but they exist. They are standard survival rations from a Jacinto brand survival kit, if that matters.
16.
16. As far as you can tell, there are countermeasures. The damage that the system has taken has made most of the systems inoperable. You're unsure with the 16 as to what that means for the countermeasures. You do notice on the console, there's a scanner. The scanner is active, and you would need to manipulate it more to kind of figure out what it's scanning for.
Right. That's what I wanted to do.
Sure.
To
Okay.
see what it's scanning for. Yeah.
So you get a little bit closer and you kind of peer in. As you do, you notice that this is set to scan the immediate vicinity for cave systems. And it notes one about 300 feet to the north.
Okay. The last indication on the scanner was that it was looking for cave systems. There's one 300 feet to the north. We should check there for any signs of a survivor.
What's in the crate?
Also check
What's
the
in the
crate.
crate?
He's probably
Crate
taking
people.
it with him, though.
Who's checking the crate?
Once I've
Be
heard.
careful, it's probably a trap.
Oh, then should we just leave it?
Well, we should check to make sure, but I find it highly unlikely that he would leave the ship, fake his own death, and then leave
With the real.
10,000 credit prototype that we are trying to find. And presumably other people.
Let's just walk away then.
We're
So
not
that-
even gonna look at the crate?
Nope.
You can look at the crate, just be very careful.
Look at the crate and fuck up.
You gonna open it?
You open the crate?
Oh, bin the crate.
Don't open the
Oh,
crate.
bin the crate.
Can I shoot the crate?
Yeah, if you want.
Don't shoot the crate.
Spice shoots the crate!
Fuck!
Okay. Make an attack roll.
Okay.
I am
Miss,
inside
miss.
the ship.
And 11?
An 11.
Yep. It's an 11.
Wow.
That's it.
So you shoot at the crate and it goes, pew, and then bounces off and ricochets. I'm gonna say, based on where you are, Vess, you were helping, make a dexterity save or
Oh, no.
reflex save. Sorry.
Oh,
Reflex
shit.
saving throw. Six.
Oh dear.
You take 4 points of this is gonna be fire damage because it's a laser. As this thing right into your chest,
No.
you kind of take a step back.
Ugh.
The Farron just
fire
goes, "What?
inside."
Why are you shooting at a metal chest in the middle of a ship?
I would agree with Thaddeus on this one.
And if it's trapped, why are we shooting it?
Yeah.
Spice doesn't say anything.
What the fuck?"
Spice,
The Farron like
Punches
takes a
the
couple
very
steps
good bounty
back.
hunter.
carefully
Spice
No.
walk over to the
punches you
crate.
in
Walk
the chin.
300 miles north.
Carefully inspect it.
If you want to look in the
Or
crate so
leave.
badly, you look in the crate.
I don't want to look in the crate. I don't.
Yeah,
Coward.
you to look in
Coward.
I know this word. Coward.
Do it. This is your health points.
You
I
see the
guess-
Farron like take a couple more steps back, like,
I'm gonna go check out the crate then.
okay,
I'm gonna start walking north, but slowly.
okay.
Carefully.
Isn't anyone gonna heal me?
No.
Very
He
carefully.
still
Everyone's,
has-
like, fighting
yeah, still,
back and
still
forth.
just like little smoke coming off the chest.
I'm probably gonna see Gibbs walk out because I've been outside the whole time,
Okay.
just trying to find a trail or something.
Sure. So the 2 of you are outside the site, the 3 of you are inside. You're opening this crate?
I'm carefully inspecting the
Make
crate
a perception check.
before trying to open it. I want to see, like, if I open the lid, if there's a tripwire that's gonna go off or something.
Sure.
You know? And what check was I doing? Perception?
Yep.
18.
18.
There is a tripwire and it goes off. And we all die.
You run your first. You look at this thing, kind of a longer crate, bigger than you would expect for like a spray paint can. But then you remember this is for like a whole ship.
Right, it's like a.
Probably pretty large. It is locked, and so the first thing that you note is the lock is engaged. So it would be difficult. You can't really suss out too much about it. With that check, you can tell that this lock, unlocking it, is not going to set off any kind of trap, as far as you could tell.
Okay.
You check the area around the crate. You don't notice pressure plates, tripwires, things of that nature.
Is it a lock such that it's like a mechanical lock or an electronic lock?
Electronic lock. Looks like
Would
it's
that-
key card activated.
Would I be able to do some sort of hack or some sort of like dismantling of the mechanism?
You could certainly try. Yeah, this is Starfinder.
I would like to do
Make a computer check.
that. Landed on a natural 20.
Yeah.
Woo. You go in. You link up with this, and as an android, for you, it's a much more intimate process than it is for a lot of
You
people.
put your dick in it. You put your dick in it. That's how you unlock it.
Put the dick in the
straight
box.
face. Zip.
Oh my god.
Sorry,
I'm
kids.
getting so much data!
Oh, I'm gonna download. So, with all that aside,
No,
with
Spice.
the natural
Turns our
20,
face
you tap into this lock, and with no trouble, you disengage it, and immediately that sets off alarms in your head. So you don't open it right away. You stop, and you really begin to investigate within the system of this lock itself, and you do notice there is a tripwire associated with opening this. You hadn't seen it before, as you did not do a great job. That computer check doesn't really show you the tripwire, but it shows you the connecting point. You know that opening this is going to trigger not one thing, but 2 things. The 2 things are within this, and you can't really make out what they are. You think about all of this, and you begin to look around the room.
clarity.
Yeah, yeah.
You're like, oh man, I see what I might
All the
mistake
pieces
before.
are coming together.
Yeah, you look around, it's a bad looking ship, you know? You like zip up your pants.
How did I get out?
There's like missing wires, there's like things that are, and then you think about that actually. There are missing wires, but there are several, and now that you're looking for them, that have been cut. Little snippets out. You notice with that natural 20. A small piece of the retro thruster system that controls the brakes, a little red line, a thick red cord rather, has been cut away. Your eyes look around more. You see a black cord that was once part of the radar scrambling system. That's gone. You notice also, very purposefully removed, a white grounding cable from the O2 converter power supply. And then finally, the only other wire that you see missing in this manner, like a little segment cleanly cut away, is a white and black striped grounded power cable from the retro thruster converter. All of those missing to use as bomb.
That has been made with the missing pieces?
Yes.
Okay.
Probably that is a mechanism for for a very hastily slapped together explosive device.
Right. Okay.
You also notice,
Which
turning
I
your
shot
attention,
at.
Yes.
turning your attention to the console, there are some buttons missing from the console. You notice the E, A, W, C, O, N, S, V, like a whole bunch of buttons just missing. That concerns you as well. With a natural 20, that is what you.
You gonna open it?
No,
Like
I think
60
it's.
feet away.
I'm about 99.9% sure that it is in fact a trap. So, good job not having any
Spice just
remotely good
turns and
aim,
walks away.
because that would
Literally
have
said it was a
probably
trap, like-
killed us all.
4 minutes ago.
So, do not practice firing your gun. Ever. Not inside the ship. Not at a shooting range. Just stay as bad at shooting
She
as you
aims
are
her
now.
laser at you.
I'm
Please
not
do.
The
honestly.
Farron is like,
I'm
he like
honestly
pulls out the
not,
rifle. He's like, I don't know what to do.
I'm honestly not that worried because you aiming at me makes it the least likely place that you're going to hit.
Spice just like and keeps walking.
You walk out of the wreckage.
I have a little android smile.
What an asshole,
Burn.
right?
Sick burn.
Man, android.
I would
Man.
support
Android.
that.
Sick burn.
I'm gonna
What do you guys do?
end his life.
I'm gonna walk.
Yeah, I'm probably walking with Gibbs.
I'm going.
And-
Yeah,
I'm gonna
north
just-
300 feet to the cave.
As I'm walking, I want to just keep an eye, because I have a very high survival, and I'm
Yeah.
a very big tracker. You know,
Yeah.
it's in my blood.
Of course.
So what I'm gonna do is, are there like any like spider webs or anything on this planet?
Not that you've seen so far, but you guys
Okay.
have been in a clearing of a wreckage of a ship.
Any
and that's
like bees or anything or wildlife?
Make a perception check.
Okay.
There's a giant
12
bird.
plus 4,
Head.
16.
While everybody else is inside, before Gibbs comes out, you kind of close your eyes and listen. And in the air, there is this of a breeze. And as it goes by, you see all the leaves in the distance kind of going together. And it produces this beautiful, almost chime. And as that happens, this kind of shimmering sound, with the breeze, dozens of insects stir. And you hear this kind of chirping cadence. It is a strange, almost discordant, but at the same time melodic kind of thing. And as the breeze dies down, that slowly dies away. Certainly insects, yeah.
I'm gonna keep a mental note of that, because a lot of times in nature, when people are around animals, they stop doing their natural, sing to like mating calls and stuff
Sure,
like that.
absolutely,
So
yeah.
if I hear something that stops, maybe that's a sign of someone walking in their territory.
Fantastic. Great thing to look out for. You guys all moving 300 feet north?
Are there any signs of because this was a fairly large container that presumably held the application.
Probably about that long.
Is it something that would be pretty heavy and he'd have to drag along the ground, or
You
is
have
there
no
a hover
idea.
thing that a hover trolley?
Make a perception check if you want to look for signs of a hover trolley.
Yeah. Well,
passing.
signs of some sort of pathway
yeah.
that leads to what is perception?
Yep.
16.
16. Looking around with the breeze, there's grass, but not really anything for footprints,
300 feet north it is.
Can I point out though that we're following a track? Someone was smart enough, the guy was smart enough to booby trap this thing, make a dead body, put on a screen where he was gonna go, and we're gonna go there and think that that's not trapped in bullshit.
Well,
That's a
it
good
might-
point.
It
That's a
very
good
well
point for
could be,
sure.
but we have no other leads.
We have resources. We could go back to our ship, get up on our ship, scan the ground for
For what?
a guy, a
Yeah,
person.
can we do a
And then if we don't find anything, then we go back to the tunnel.
We do not have bioscanners on the ship.
Oh, I thought we did.
We could always, one party go to the cave and one party, kind of just.
It's not splitting up.
Can we do a landscape check?
Can I be in the party that doesn't go to the cave?
No.
Where would you go if you weren't going to the cave?
Well, if there's two parties, I'll stick with the one that's not going to the cave. I
You're
don't know
coming
how
to the
that
cave.
We're all
I
going to the cave,
suggest
and
that
that's
Thaddeus is the vanguard on the path to the cave.
Yes.
We don't need to be an asshole to him.
I mean, I
It's
can
just
do it.
the most expendable crew member.
That's a
You
shitty
aren't
thing to say.
Well, you technically
Shade
aren't
has
even a
no
crew
shade.
member.
You know what, Thaddeus? If you get in trouble, I'm gonna heal you over Shade.
Thank you.
Can someone heal me
Gibbs,
first?
I appreciate that. You gave me a way to defend myself, and you're going to back me up. I appreciate that, Gibbs. I'll
You
look out for you
realize
as well.
He is a criminal worth.
Shade, shut up.
I don't know anything.
I'm not really any more of a criminal than any of you. Like I'd hired by the wrong guy. But what is that? Like an accessory to robbery? Like maybe
Well,
5 years?
I agree that things are not always in your control, but from a logistical standpoint, you are worth 50 credits. So,
And you're worth 100 credits to me dead.
well, we are crewmates, and that's
And
honestly.
Thaddeus can drive the ship, right?
Yeah.
You should
So
probably.
who's the
So,
expendable
yeah,
one
who's the
now?
expendable one now? I don't know.
I'm sensing motive
Yeah,
on
go
that.
for it.
I'm not gonna
Which
say
I am
I'm
very
gonna
bad
believe that
at.
he can do it.
That is an 8.
And isn't there...
Seems like he
That's
probably
the
can pilot.
minus
Yeah. He's
two.
nervous, so it's hard
Yeah.
to tell.
Is there any in the wreck? What have we missed? You checked for tracks. I can't do computers. It's not my thing.
I believe our only lead is 300 feet north to the caves.
What were you gonna say though, Besk?
Could I search for butterflies?
Ah,
Yeah. Make a
Insects?
perception check.
Life science?
Oh, if you want a life science, yeah.
Parents?
Or would it be... Oh, that's cocked.
It's perception to look. Life science is
Perception
more to like
look.
understand.
Once you already
Like,
know, I
yeah.
see, yeah.
I'm gonna assist him.
Okay.
No.
How are you
Okay.
assisting?
Everybody keep an ear out for the birds and the science.
You're also... you can do survival, and I can do
Survival.
perception. Or, no, that's not survival.
I don't think there is survival.
there is survival.
Okay,
I'm
so
good at it.
if you want to make survival, absolutely.
Yeah,
sure.
11
You survive.
So mine is 26.
Nice.
plus 8, so 19.
Good roll,
Okay.
good roll.
The two of you work together.
Yep.
You kind of putting together what you've already seen and observed. You talk about the insects because you're looking around. There are not butterflies, however. There are these small, almost like they look a little bit like flies, but very large, like dragonflies essentially. A little shorter and a little bit more compact. You see them with every breeze begin to chirp and let off this kind of discordant melody from the trees. You see those. And with a 27? Damn. So, 26? Okay. Bubs, you are the first person to notice with your survival check footprints. Not human, though. You note these kind of divest as you look. These are maybe primate?
What?
And you kind of follow those with your eyes. And with the 27, you can kind of see, kind of hiding behind one of these trees, pale fur, a small primate-like little monkey kind of thing.
Are we gonna get a monkey?
You notice with this beautiful emerald-like light, and emerald and grain kind of shimmering down, the green makes it blend into the grass almost perfectly. Though the fur is white, it probably blends in very well here. You see it's about 2 feet tall, 4 large almond-shaped black eyes on either side of the head. Like, think like Stitch from Lilo and Stitch in terms of the eyes.
Spider
Neopet.
monkey.
The ears are long, almost elven. And then you can see between the arms there are retractable, flying squirrel-like sails.
Oh, God, I know it.
With a 27, you have actually heard of these before. This is a species that's been taken away from Teegarden and introduced elsewhere, but this is a Teegarden hooked canopy glider. It kind of darts behind the tree, and then, again, curiously, you see 2 eyes and 1 half of the face peer out.
Did you see
Yeah, I did.
It's like the 2 of you on the edge of the clearing, kind of looking into the forest.
Do you have any more of that beef jerky from Gibbs?
Oh, yeah, of course. I can't touch... I can't stand the stuff.
too meaty?
It's too meaty.
Here,
I'm a
here.
vegetarian.
pass a little bit over to me.
I liked it before. I'm the only one.
When it was just a regular meat.
You passing a little jerky over to Bubs?
Yeah, and ready to move on.
Sure.
I'm just going to just throw a couple pieces in its direction, but like very subtly.
Okay. Make a. All right. What are you trying to do with that?
I'm just gonna try to, see how it reacts. Maybe
Okay.
if they're friendly, not friendly. Maybe this is a creature that maybe saw something. I don't know.
Sure. Go
There's
ahead.
no animal handling in Starfinder.
There is, yeah.
There is none?
No, there is.
No. It's
there's
it's
not.
Survival.
Oh,
survival.
survival.
Yeah.
Sound
Yeah.
understood.
Deal with wild animals.
Yep.
So yeah, go ahead.
11 plus 8, so 19.
19. Okay. With a 19, you toss this carefully, letting it kind of roll along through the grass, not scaring it. And so instead of darting away, it kind of looks out curiously. It takes a couple steps forward. You can see all the eyes still on you. Like another big kind of step. Then it snatches the jerky, kind of takes a step back, and then starts nibbling on it before suddenly and just like scarfs the whole thing down. It looks up at you, the ears kind of down, still a little afraid, but it doesn't retreat.
I'm gonna just keep feeding it a little bit more jerky each as I go.
Okay.
Are you gonna do
It
it?
begins kind of just following
Does
you.
Shade
And
step
as
in
you
and
feed
try
it
to
a little
grab
bit
it?
as you go, this creature follows you kind of as long as you're feeding it.
I like this little guy. I've always liked creatures and anything in this world that brings joy to people. I think. I mean, I don't want to touch it really, but I mean, it's just nice.
You can see this thing, the big eye, the ears back, the eyes now. It sits almost upright like a rabbit, and it kind of looks at everybody, just regarding them. Still kind of looking towards you primarily, seeing if you're going to give it more food.
I'm gonna keep giving
I'm
it some
heading
food.
towards the cave.
Sure, you begin
And
walking.
I'm gonna walk to the cave and just give it a couple more pieces as I walk with it.
So your party of now 7 approaches the cave. This small monkey-like creature. As you approach, so it begins being a little bit tentative for all of you, but as it follows Bubs and you guys don't really bother it for the first couple feet, it kind of calms down, and as it's nibbling, you can hear it start to kind of almost let off like a little purr. It's like this little like, and it just kind of eats.
Do we have our first pet?
No, because we're
What
running
is-
into this cave and it's gonna die.
Angs, what is Angs?
After
Oh,
walking
Momo?
Momo.
for about 20
Ah.
minutes,
We got a Momo.
suddenly this creature, the ears kind of flatten a little bit, and for the first time it walks over and it kind of grabs you with a leg. And it's kind of. It takes a couple steps towards a tree, and you can see the eyes looking up, and it just kind of like sits.
My first reaction is, oh, why is it touching it? And then I look up where it's looking up and I go, oh, whoa.
And so imperceptible, if you had not made friends with this creature, there is a small camera
What?
pointed down at this area. And you notice, though not very large, there is more space in this area than there is in others. This creature, now seeing you look at the camera, kind of goes, the ears pop up, and it takes another couple steps, about 15 feet over, and it just kind of paws at this tree.
I'm going to signal to my party without talking, kind of pointing up to the camera and just quiet, because I don't know if it's an audio-equipped camera.
Sure.
And I'm just going
Guns
to
out.
Spice.
just,
Spice. Sorry, go ahead. Well, okay, so at this moment, Spice uses her telekinesis to be like, talk to me, because I can talk to you without speaking out loud. And so can Bess. So tell me everything, and I'll tell everybody else.
well, this is like probably the first time you're doing this in my head.
Oh, yes, knock, knock. Sorry.
Bubs is
Excuse
stone.
me.
Hi. Hello. I'm touching my
Bess
ear.
is here.
Oh.
She's just looking at you like.
Oh. I thought it was okay. That's the new for me. Oh, my nice little furry compatriot here is discussing me maybe to touch my arm. He kind of showed me something when he looked up. I think it looks like a camera.
Certainly does, like a trail camera.
Do you see it right above that trailing
Spice looks over,
And I'm
and
gonna-
then she's like, everybody, we're being watched to the party.
Is it less than 5 pounds, the camera?
You'd imagine.
Am I within 25 feet of it?
Yeah.
Then I will use my telekinetic projectile to fling it
Okay.
as if it
Wait.
gravity fell and it does damage to the object, and I will throw it at the ground like
Sure.
it fell.
So all of a sudden, as you guys are watching, trying to figure this out, you guys talking in your heads, you see, and just falls and cracks. The lens breaks. You see the little light.
I do it again.
It crashes. It shatters onto the ground.
Gravity.
So I'm gonna
should
ready
hide.
my weapon. Draw the needler that
There you
I
go.
stole, rightfully took from Cygnus Bandit.
Farron's been holding his like the whole time, kind of looking around, but he's extra nervous now.
And I'm gonna load in
That
a
is.
basic inhibitor.
Okay,
So
fair enough.
I'm gonna find a spot to hide at the mouth of the cave because if the if the camera just went out, presumably this guy is like alerted to our presence now.
Yeah, fair enough.
So I'm gonna like get ready in case anything comes out.
Spice kind of climbs midway up a local tree.
Okay, they're
And
tough
hides in
because
a
there's no
branch.
branches. So go ahead, make a. This is an athletics check. Do we have
This is a
athletics?
very tall tree, too.
Yeah, athletics.
Okay, let's see.
300 foot
I just took a rank in either athletics or acrobatics. Oh, okay, all right. $21.
21.
21.
You climb up about 20 feet, and it really is you kind of like wrapped around it. You're not all you can't go all the way around it, but you're like clinging to it. It's very uncomfortable. You see Spice very clearly blue on brown, like 20 feet up in the tree.
Do I look cool?
Some time passes, and
You
the
look
fair
like
and
a big bug.
Thaddeus from this quiet
Disguise.
quiet hideout kind of goes, "Hey, if this guy is trying to like rendezvous with people, aren't we just kind of wasting time? Wouldn't you just kind of let us sit here?"
Good point, Farron.
It's gravity.
I guess we should.
The mouth of the cave, is there any tracks of evidence of humanoids?
Make a survival check.
Natural 20 plus
Wow.
8.
While everybody else is kind of like crouching down and waiting, you begin to look, and you find not just footprints, but this certain kind of stretch of depressed ground that would lead you to believe a hover sled has been pulled recently through.
Oh,
Relatively
There's
recent.
was
the
the
sled,
the hover
you're
trolley.
You follow this,
Okay.
if you wish.
Yeah, I wish.
Another 10 feet,
bored.
20 feet, you begin to see this clearing. And you see in the middle of it a silver temporary survival shelter that has been popped up. And you see on the side of it a origami crane with the word Jacinto above it.
Is there any other exits to the clearing besides, like
I mean, it's the forest all around it, so it's
Okay.
just like, you can move through the trees in any direction.
I'm not gonna touch it. No, it's definitely a trap. So I will wait for a dumber compatriot of mine to come up and.
Spice.
Great.
As you think that, you just hear somebody like snapping the twigs. You smell cigarette smoke probably.
Yeah.
And it's just Spice just kind of wandering through.
Spice.
Like a twig in
Yes.
the hand. Just like-
Look,
Spice.
there's a tent. Why don't you go a knocking? Who
Spice
wouldn't
goes
want to
a-knocking.
see
Okay.
your pleasant
Spice
face?
just goes, yeah,
far
just
into
walks
the
right
cave
out
is
into this
this?
clearing. Huh?
Oh, how far in is this?
From the clearing?
Yeah.
30 feet in places. It's like a kind of like a long stretch of a clearing. So 30 feet in places, 50 feet in places.
Shouldn't we like flank it or something?
That's
Uh,
what I was going to suggest.
Well, too late. Spice walks
Yeah.
up into it.
You walk up
Oh,
to this 10
flanked
by
by
10
Gibbs.
structure.
Seeing that
Yep.
Spice is enacting a plan that no one else has like
I
had
know.
any word
We're
of.
good.
The captain.
Yes.
I'm gonna like try to get into a like a flanking position.
You're
for-
like, oh, and you begin to like
Yeah.
hustle around the edge of the clearing. No problem. Spice, you walk right up to this door.
Nice.
You knock.
So Tatsu or Spice has a tattoo of Hylax on her left hand. So she holds up her tattoo of Hylax, and then she knocks on the door.
Okay.
What's Hylax?
No answer.
Well, then she opens the door. Hylax is the goddess of first interaction.
Mhm.
Yeah, and like, yeah, and a bunch of other stuff, but that's the reason why she got it.
You press the button and the door open. You see within a very, very small little emergency survival shelter, you see exactly like the crate that you saw in that wreck, another crate. Jacinto brand, all that kind of stuff. There's a crate open on the other side of the bed. It has survival supplies. There's a space blanket with the Jacinto logo stretched out over the bed. Definitely like a temporary survival shelter, and noting all the stuff around here, probably still being used. You get the other side of the clearing.
Seeing her do that, can I, now that it's been open and the danger's gone, rifle through the stuff and look for a fire extinguisher?
Yep. So you're looking, make an investigation check.
Can I find
Sorry,
new
perception
weapons?
check. Make a perception check also, Spice, if you're looking. Is anybody else going in to look?
I'm still gonna be at the tree.
I guess if the
Okay, so
door
the
is safely opened, I would like move to a more
20.
advantageous position at the door
Okay.
24.
to cover.
24.
12.
Okay, so you look like right around the door. You're digging through rations, ropes,
Damn
some
it.
other things.
No sign
I'll take some of those.
Vess, what are you doing?
I'm keeping an eye out and looking for other cameras.
Make a
or-
perception check.
Okay.
Yours was a 27.
27.
So with a 27,
Okay, it's low.
okay,
10.
10, great. So with the 27, the first thing that you would notice, give me just one moment here to pull this up. You immediately kind of open up the survival crate. There's 15 days worth of rations for
I
one
take
person.
them all.
There's water, a first aid kit, a flashlight, 50 feet of rope, 5 red glow sticks, 5 green glow sticks, and an empty case for a radio relay.
Empty case for radio relay.
Yep. You
Um,
also find
Yes.
a personal crate kind of hidden under the bed. It has t-shirts, jeans, shorts for a large-sized humanoid. Like large, like wearing a large-sized shirt, not
Yeah.
like a large human. Toiletries, a blender,
A blender.
an anime body pillow of a human woman,
Oh, she's a
Spice.
gamer.
extra life energy drink, beef
Gamer.
jerky, toilet paper, towels, a box of Band-Aids, a Game Guy 6 handheld console with the games Crimson Knight 2, My Time in Tofridi, and Crossy Stars.
Ooh,
Great.
I love Crossy
Finally,
Stars.
Yes.
there's the Jacinto crate. And as
Oh.
you
Wait, that one's the one that looks very obviously bugged, right?
doesn't look very obviously bugged.
Well,
It
looks
It
just
looks
like
like
the
the
other
one
one.
that
Yeah.
was
It
very
does,
obviously.
but
bugged.
with your roll,
Okay.
looking at this, it is unlocked. It has been opened relatively recently. It is clean and kind of free from everything else, and so it looks like it has a place of importance. What do you want to do?
It's a crate, a metal crate.
Yep.
Am I risky? I will open up the crate.
Gibbs, your little paws go underneath, and as you open it up, you see this long cylinder that reads Jacinto, classified, and then underneath that in small spray-painted white, Project Cuttlefish.
Is it big enough to like?
Vess, it is at this point that you suddenly realize, almost impossible that this would have happened without you noticing, but beyond the wind, there is no wind, but you hear these insects chime, and then you realize you hear like fans almost.
It's the sword.
As you turn, you see a humanoid
No!
standing off to the right. They're wearing like a silver, almost spacesuit looking thing. You can see they're holding something in one hand. They kind of smile at you, and then suddenly from behind one of the trees, this huge drone, larger than him, on 4 fans, just floats out into the space. An autocannon located on the front. From the other side of you, you hear suddenly picking up in the forest as another one lifts off. And because it is 9:24, this is where we're going to end for the
No!
Would you like a better view of what you're seeing?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, hang on one sec.
It's this, but smaller.
Oh my god! Nobody was protecting the ship! What about our ship?
Did we disable it?
Nope.
We did nothing.
So this
We
is laid on top of the ship, probably. Is what you were seeing. So you see right there the 2 drones and the guy who will have to place next time when we do the actual fight. But you guys are within this actual forest, beautiful kind of green emerald lights cascading all around, and then these 2 things going. But awesome job, guys. You guys didn't. There's a lot of things that could have gone wrong that you didn't have go wrong. You guys, if you had done things poorly at the satellite, there was another drone that could have attacked you guys. That was going to be our sample space combat.
Wow.
And then
Avoided.
in that first crate, there was a 3-part bomb that was 3 separate puzzles that could all affect each other.
And I tried to shoot it open.
Yeah, it would have been bad news bears. You guys are going to have 60 seconds to yeah, it was like a whole thing. Anyways, thank you so much for hanging out with us. Oh, yeah, right. Yeah, I forgot that was all the way it was. Well, I'm going to pull us away from it anyway. So thank you guys very much for hanging out with us for Session 2 of Mosaic Team 5. Because somebody redeemed some channel points for this, Olive, if you want to go ahead and...
DOS did, right?
What I'm gonna go. Bye bye, black hole buckaroo.
We'll see you next time.